Have you subscribed to the Cleveland Moto and Moto Stories and more YouTube channels yet? There is enough amazing content available on both channels. You can go ahead and cancel your Netflix subscription. See, the guys care deeply about you, so please go do it now before it's too late and they release the infected cyborg snakes.
Hey, we got numbers.
Good evening. Podcast number 400 or 549. Light them up, boys.
All right. So
Tonight we do not have your humble narrator, Phil Waters. He's in Mexico on a scooter rally, basically the Mexican version of the Amera Vespa. So to my left, I have
Sean Noel.
And to your left,
Dad Kropke.
and to his left,
Steve Sleepy.
and to his left,
Harley Bob Kudamash.
and to his left,
Speedy Pete.
and to his left.
Shanky Smith.
All right, we're all in the house.
That's right. And today we have some special guests. As we were telling you guys the last couple of weeks,
Tom's feeling neglected.
Oh, shit.
And behind the bar.
It's fine.
And behind the bar.
I'm used to being a hard-headed stepchild.
Well, he's been
Least
quiet.
but not last.
He's never been this quiet. So
I know.
I completely forgot he
Our
was here.
bumble narrator.
But the AMA was
It starts.
in some ways smart enough, in other ways we're not sure. But they sent two people over, which we're going to take no matter what. And they are awesome. We've been talking to them a little bit before we started. So first of all, we have Mackenzie Martin, who is the AMA events manager. And Mackenzie comes from a long line of desert racers and enthusiasts. Originally from Temecula, California, she worked at Monster Energy as an event manager for 4 years, building and designing displays like the double-decker stages you've probably seen at the events. She moved to Ohio 4 years ago after meeting someone and then found the perfect job to fit right in at the AMA's event manager, as the AMA's event manager, becoming one of the key individuals behind planning AMA events like AMA Vintage Motorcycle Days and the AMA Motorcycle Hall of Fame induction ceremony. She now rides mostly recreationally, but always jumps at the chance to do some trail riding and anything off-road when she's not playing drums or hanging out with her family. And then joining her also is Mitch Bohem, AMA editorial director. And Mitch has a bit of a history, and you guys are going to like this. So Mitch grew up in the suburbs of West Cleveland, Ohio, and noticed at the age of 9 or so that there were mini bikes and motorcycles running in the fields and trails behind his house. As a Schwinn Stingray bicycle owner, he was totally fascinated. A buddy had a Honda Z50, and he was smitten. A condition his parents rewarded with one Christmas was a red Honda SL70. A year or so later, it was an XR75, and then in late 74, it was a few motocross events. In the last one of that year, he grabbed third place trophy, and he was hooked, hook, line, and sinker. All right. Over the winter, his dad found a local tuner who installed a big bore kit, cam and exhaust in that XR. In spring of 75, he embarked on a 4-year motocross odyssey that eventually involved that XR75 with a monoshock rear suspension, a YZ100C in 76, a YZ125D in 77, and a YZ250E in 78. He won a lot of races, had a ball, and he was also a bit of a baseball standout in high school and ended up chasing that dream into college years at SLC, Utah, where his dad had been transferred to. After that, he played 1 year there, decided he was never going to be a pro, and got back into motocross in 83 while working at a few bike shops in Salt Lake, Plaza Cycle, Perry Brothers, and more. He was a voracious bike magazine reader, motorcycle bike magazine reader, and had been since middle school. And he had minored in English in college, so he wrote Art Friedman, then editorial motorcycle magazine, a letter, and he responded by asking me to come to LA for an interview. His good friend Nick, a name that I can't pronounce, had already... How do you say it? Einach had already gone there and put in a good word. The interview went well, and a few weeks later, he was invited to LA as a staff job for the magazine. Complete heaven. Nick and I, this is now his words, Nick and I leave the dream for a few years between 85 and 89, riding every day, testing, racing, and appearing on the cover of magazines, and going on amazing bike introductions all over the world, an amazing 4 years. But then Honda came calling. He was offered a job in 89 in its production planning and R&D department, And because the money was double what he was making, he took it and learned a ton going to Japan, riding prototypes, contributing to bike development meetings, and basically getting a master's degree in bike development from initial concept to clay model to early prototype to late prototype to pre-production, final production. Completely fascinating stuff. Lots of stories to talk about there. But after 3 years, he'd learned as much as he'd want to learn, and when editor Dave Edwards called and asked him to join Cycle World staff, he was ready, and he was ready to get back to the magazine. So he did a full year there and really enjoyed himself. He said Edwards was a great boss. But one day he got a call from Art Friedman, another great boss, who'd hired him 7 years earlier, asking if I'd come back to Motorcyclist as editor-in-chief. I said yes, and editor-in-chief job lasted for 15 years. When it ran its course, I ran my own PR editorial marketing and branding agency for a few years, and then took a job as communications director of American Flat Track before redesigning a Harley-Davidson magazine, before joining the AMA in my current role as editorial director, running American Motorcyclist, the AMA's monthly publication. So as you can see, Mitch really hasn't a lot to do with anything with motorcycles at all. So, I mean, hopefully we'll be able to get through this.
Definitely not.
So let's bring these guys in. So what we got here is, hey, there's Mitch. Welcome to the show, Mitch.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hey, Mitch.
Hello.
And then Mackenzie, where are you at?
Hey, how's it going?
Well, we're going to have to, Zoom didn't switch, but she's there, I promise. You'll see her as well.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Hello.
Hey,
Oh,
Mackenzie.
All right.
Hey there.
So, being that we're less than, I think, 100 days out from the greatest motorcycle event in the world, how are you guys doing?
Don't say that. It scares us.
As it should.
No
We need
pressure.
more time. We must have more time.
Nah, we're getting excited. We're getting excited for sure.
So anyway, some of the things in your bio, Mitch, that really interested me was your time at Honda in Japan.
John was pleasuring himself during
Because one of my nom de guerres is the Honda Whisperer. Also the Bourbon Fairy. So you should also know that. But
Yes. But John can make any Honda run, no matter what, and usually within 5 minutes.
I need you to come visit my garage badly.
We can do that.
we might be able to arrange that.
He does have a list, though. I think, what are you out, about 5 months before you got an open appointment?
Yeah, that's just to get all the stuff running in my garage. But
I can get you the head of the line.
to me, that sounds like that would have been an amazing experience, and I can only imagine what it was like to be working for Honda in Japan.
Well, I started off with an SL70 and an XR, so I was always sort of a Honda guy, right? It's sort of
two fantastic
ingrams it
little
right into your
bikes.
skin. And yeah, I mean, to be offered that job was just amazing. I mean, the magazine, there's no better job in the world than a magazine editor, but for double the money that I was making, I figured I would learn a lot. And I was only there 3 years, but I got involved in every aspect, from, like I said, concept discussions about what we should make, what we should build, what we should have in the lineup, to sketches and colors and early mule prototypes that would test out frame geometry and the way the motor looks. They were cobby and ugly, but that's how it happens. Later prototypes, which have sort of pre-production parts on them, and all the testing and everything that goes into making suspension work and brakes work and carburation. There's not a lot of carburation anymore, but there used to be. And then, it's kind of the final pre-production stuff, and then seeing the bike on the showroom floor and then giving it out to the magazine guys, which I used to be one of, and having them write good things about it. So that was just a fascinating thing. I was in Japan a lot. I mean, I was based in Torrance, California, but I was in Japan a lot, all the time. Those were fun trips.
What years were these again?
Was there any particular model that you think you have, like that most of your DNA might possibly be in, that you helped with some of the design?
First ST1100, the second generation VFR 750, CBR 900RR, the first one.
Oh my god! Dude, I had 7 of those. That was my favorite.
CBR 600 F2, just a whole bunch of bikes. Then there's my compatriot, the late Bruce Ogilvie, who was a desert racer and a really great guy and a really good development guy. He handled all the dirt stuff, but I was primarily the street bike guy. So whenever a bike was important for our market, the Japanese test team or the development team would come to the U.S. with prototypes, and we would test. We test in Japan first, usually, to get things just sort of roughed out, and then we would bring them here. Like CBR 600 F2, for instance, we would bring the pre-production or really prototype bikes, and there would be a Showa suspension guy there with a truck, and we would spend 3 or 4 days just going through shocks and fork settings and oil levels and damping settings and all kinds of stuff. And then once we sort of settled on what worked, those settings would go back to Japan and hopefully be translated to a production bike. So that's sort of how that happens. And the reason we did that is we would go up on Angeles Forest Highway. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's a really fast sort of semi-bumpy road that a lot of the magazine guys would use for testing. And if it worked well there for us, the thinking was it would work well there for the magazine folks. And that's really sort of why we got such great road tests written. And that, if you're a manufacturer, that's what you want, good road tests, because then people go buy the bike, hopefully. So fun stuff. There was some Goldwing stuff. I remember learning about seats, Goldwing seats. The foam inside a Goldwing seat is often sliced, so it moves individually and not in large pieces, and that has a big effect on ass burn when you're sitting in a Goldwing seat and stuff like that. I mean, all kinds of really fascinating stuff that I learned that I never ever would have known. Seeing that process up close and personal was just a fascinating 3 years, and I'm really, really glad I did. It really helped my perspective when I went back to the magazine side first for Cycle World for a year, and then as editor in chief of Motorcyclist. So
how many times while you're doing that job did you say to yourself, "I can't believe I get paid for this"?
Which job?
Like, all of them. Yeah, right. I'm with you.
Well, speaking
if you can, I grew up on dirt bikes, reading magazines, and I was working at Plaza Cycle after I had gone down to LA for I'll tell you a little bit about my interview. I was in the Motorcyclist magazine offices on Sunset Boulevard, and Art Freeman, the editor, was there, and a bunch, Jeff Carr and Dexter Ford and Nick were there, and they were sort of making fun of me, And Art said, "Go in that office over there, and there's an IBM Selectric typewriter, because we didn't have computers then. This is 1985."
Yeah.
And he said, "Write me a column." Now, a column's a weird thing to write. You got column is a column, right? You guys have read a million of them, right?
Oh yeah.
Peter Egan, the best column writer ever, right? So I had something.
I imagine we've probably read your columns, probably.
Yeah, many times.
Well, there's been 25 or 30 years of them, so yeah, you probably have gotten one or two, maybe, if you liked it. And I had something in mind, and I was sitting there slamming that on the Selectric, the typewriter.
I hate those
car in the other room going, "Well, he can type. We don't think he can write, but he can type." So
you're halfway there.
Yeah. I mean, from that day on, when I moved down there, I would say that every day. I mean, Nick and I were living together in this duplex. We would get up in the morning, have some breakfast, put on our Aerostitch suits, jump on our test bikes, which we didn't have to pay for, and the gas we didn't have to pay for, and we would get on the LA freeway and ride to work, and then we would write about motorcycles all day, or go to Willow Springs for testing, or go on a ride, or go to an intro, at Road Atlanta, or Mid Ohio, or Road America, or Italy, or something like that. I mean, and then come home and write a story about it.
That just sounds like a magical life to me.
You just can't even so every day I said those things to myself. Holy shit, am I really here? So, and Honda was similar. It was a corporate job. I had to wear a tie, and I went to Leary Catholic, so I knew how to wear a tie. But it was just an amazing thing, and it still is. And I'm still I have to pinch myself. I'm still doing it 40 years later. That was 85, and now it's 2026. So, yeah, crazy stuff.
Well, you mentioned the magazines too. I mean, those are two of, to me at least, my favorite magazines, Cycle World and the Motorcyclist. When that came out, it was a really great magazine, and I imagine you probably had something to do with that. So, yeah, I mean, the articles in both of those magazines were almost like reference material, I think, for a lot of motorcyclists.
Sure. Well, I mean, we had some great people. We had James Parker and Gordon Jennings writing. Cycle World, of course, had Peter Egan and Kevin Cameron. I mean, that is reference material, absolutely. So it was really fun. I just can't believe I was so lucky. So and I was lucky. I mean, you have to sort of know the right people to at least get a shot at doing that. But the column, I remember I wrote the column and handed it to Art. It was like 5 or 6 type pages, double spaced, and it was a pretty good column actually. And I remember I gave it to him, and I sat down in a chair sort of facing his desk, and he was reading it. And I remember I was sort of bent over looking at Cycle World. I had a copy of Cycle News on the ground, and I was just sitting there, and I was just thinking, if he likes this, I might get this job, and then my life will change forever. And that's what happened. So, a kid from North Ridgeville, Ohio, right?
Well, I guess speaking of lucky, I guess we're lucky then that you have gone over to the AMA and that you are working so diligently on the vintage motorcycle days, which is something that we and all of our fans, and listeners very much enjoy.
Hey, Mitch, can I ask you a question about how Honda decides what bikes they bring to the U.S. and which ones they don't? Would you be able to shed any light on that?
Well, yeah, a lot goes into that. I mean, is there a market for it? Are there customers that want to buy it? I mean, you remember all the bikes that Honda brought in the late 80s? GB500, Pacific Coast.
Oh, I love the Pacific Coast, though. It's so
we
good.
bought all those.
Africa Twin.
NX650, not Africa Twin. They had a thing called the
Transalp.
Transalp was way before its time. People weren't looking for those bikes at the time. They ended up liking them later when they weren't really around anymore. Remember the CB
a lot.
400?
We like those bikes a lot.
Right, but they didn't sell. They didn't sell at all. So that was a weird time. That happened sort of right before and right during when I got there. So when I got there, the relationship between American Honda and Honda R&D in Japan was not good, because American Honda had sort of stamped their feet and said, we want to do this, you need to build these bikes. And because American Honda held such horsepower in terms of sales, Japan said, okay, we'll do it. So they did it. You guys have any idea the investment involved in doing one new motorcycle from scratch? It's astronomical. And they did 5 or 6 or 7, and they didn't sell. So Japan said, what the hell do you know? You don't know what the hell you're doing anymore. You guys have lost it. Yeah, exactly right. You guys have lost it. So that relationship was sort of on the mend when I got there, and it was interesting, kind of a political, corporate sort of a situation for me. But to answer your question, it just depends on is there a market for it? And, I mean, if you're talking Goldwings back in the day, Goldwings were huge sellers. CBR 600 used to sell 10,000 units a year. The entire sport bike market now is less than 10,000. The entire market for all OEs. Jeez, and Honda used to sell that many for one model. So did Kawasaki, so did Suzuki, so did Yamaha. So the market has changed so much. It's moved over to to cruisers, it's moved over to adventure bikes. And a lot of people are riding old bikes now, and that maybe segues into the whole VMD discussion too. So, but I don't know if that answers your question or not.
Oh, definitely.
I'm going to throw out a bike that I think a lot of people in America have maybe had some interest in. It's the that's been out in the rest of the world for a while, is the CB350, the new Honda. You know what I mean? Like, and they're producing that in the Indian market and everything like that. It seems like it would be an easy fit. It's not an expensive motorcycle. It could be, they could sell it, but it's just not going to make it here, it seems like. And I don't know that I would ever buy one necessarily, but boy, it seems like in the magazines and stuff like that, there was a lot of fervor for a while about it maybe coming here.
That whole 350, 400, 450 sizing is really a big deal.
Yeah.
And, I'm not totally up to speed on what Honda has got right now in their current lineup. But I know that Kawasaki's going big with 400s. Triumph did a bunch of 400s.
They're amazing.
Yeah, they're right. Exactly. So that's like the one bright spot. We always talk about, we're trying to get younger people to get involved in motorcycling, right? 20 somethings, 30 somethings, even teenagers. But, and for a long time, they were sort of like hesitant to push, it's all about video games. It's all about not doing dangerous stuff, risk averse things, right? But those bikes are actually selling pretty well. And that's a bright spot for the industry, because all of us, we're not buying a lot of new bikes anymore. We're sort of on the downhill slide there. That's just what happens. So that's Harley's big issue, really.
Yes.
They haven't been able to turn on the younger segment, and it might happen. I mean, you remember Levi's? For years and years, we all wore 501s. That's all we wore, right? And then Levi's sort of went into a bit of a slump, and no one cared. And then they sort of came back as an all-American brand. There was some nationalism behind it, yada, yada, yada. Harley needs to happen to Harley Davidson too. And I think it will over time, but boy, they're struggling right now. And it's not really their fault. It's just part of the deal.
That's something we've actually talked about quite a bit in the podcast about Harley Davidson. And, and especially 2 weeks ago, we were talking about that. And there doesn't seem to be any plan to do that. They seem to be just wanting to double down and stick with their heritage and stick with selling.
Well, they have a new CEO, and they are paying attention to smaller bikes. It's coming. So, okay. Although I don't know if the brand resonates with younger folks like it did with us. I mean, anybody 50 and older, a lot of people have a real soft spot for Harley Davidson. They lusted after one. They loved him. They heard about him. All the movie stars all wrote him. Yada yada yada. Whatever that attraction was, the individualist. But I don't know if if that's resonating with younger folks. And until it does, they're going to struggle because the market is just shrinking every day. And you can watch it with their sales numbers. So, you know, great company with great history. Hopefully they can rebound from this, and we'll see if the new CEO can do it.
Well, to bring it back to the vintage days and use that too, if we've had over the years, we've been promoting vintage days for so long that we have kids. I just did a video on my YouTube channel a while ago of these kids that went to vintage days when they were 3 or 4 with their dad who listened to the podcast and decided to take them. They've grown up going to vintage days, and now they're rebuilding bikes, and they're like 17, 18, and they are completely obsessed with it. So, like, I think vintage days, actually, when you see a lot of the younger kids there and stuff, I think it's doing an excellent job of getting kids kind of interested in motorcycles, because it's showing it's a different motorcycle scene than most of the motorcycle events that happen. It's a much more open scene. It's much more diverse in the sense of like what kind of bikes are there, so they can appeal to so many different people. So have you seen, knowing that and saying that there is a decline, have you seen that though, and putting on the event and stuff, like the young people there, do you see that that's actually...
I'll say one of my favorite things that I've ever seen at any event, and I've been to hundreds of events, is like a 10-year-old walking around with a bag full of cans saying, please help me recycle my cans so I can get a bike. And they will go buy a bike in the swap meet, like the same weekend. Well, you know what I mean?
Oh, 100%. And some of the standout characters from vintage days over the years, like the 4 girls in the unicorn hat or the unicorn helmets. Like, I mean, like a lot of the kids actually become the standout features of the event. And they're, they're featured in all the pictures and videos and all this stuff. So like, I think Vintage Days is doing a great job of bringing motorcycling back to the youth, because it's not just showing them, it's involving them, which I think is amazing.
Exactly.
It is not a spectator event. It is a participation event, like you just said, and that's key. When kids can get their fingers dirty and get gasoline on their jeans because it spilled, and go out and ride and hear it and taste it and smell it, they're hooked. And that's what hooked us, right?
100%.
However it happens.
I mean, my daughter started going there when she was maybe 8 or 9. I mean, I didn't take her there when she was, but I know her first motorcycle ride was at VMD on a CT70 that I took there, and she rode it up and down the aisle, almost ran into a tent, but then it's progressed from there. I got her a little quad runner, and now she's 19 years old, and she has said to me, I hope, Dad, that we can do the vintage days for the rest of your life or our lives.
Yeah,
I want to, no matter what I'm doing, I want to be able to do this.
She's a great kid though too.
Yeah.
I mean, we're serious. I've quit jobs before about not getting off for vintage days.
It's a pretty amazing thing. It is one of the absolute bright spots. Yeah. I mean, look, we always talk about is the industry healthy or not, vis-a-vis how many new bikes are selling, and that's only one slice of the picture, right? I mean, everybody always says, oh, the industry's in such decline. I'm like, there's still a lot of people riding, and I think VMD sort of highlights that whole point, that people are still riding motorcycles, but they're just not buying new bikes. I mean, another thing is, and I saw this, I mean, when I was coming through the ranks, bikes were getting better every single year, more reliable, not as much oil, not as much oil dripping underneath, especially for Harleys and other things like that. Suspension was better. They were getting lighter. Performance was better. I mean, and you don't need a new motorcycle all the time. So that's sort of just what happens. But boy, there are a lot of people riding motorcycles, you bet. And I think that shows up really well at VMD, because there's so much going on there. It's just insane how much is going on there. So,
well, I think on the new bike scene, it's not so much about, vast improvements in a bike, or, it doesn't leak oil or whatever. Now it's just a lot of incremental increases in either horsepower or a little better braking, or maybe somebody comes out with a new rider aid or something like that. So, I mean, we're going to have a span of at least 10 years of motorcycle that, pick one. They're all great. They're fuel injected. They all do everything you want them to do. So
they don't break.
They don't break.
Yeah.
You don't need.
Look at big bore sport bikes now. 750s, 1000s, whatever. They're all the same. I mean, Ducatis are different for obvious reasons, but the inline 4, they're exactly the same. They look alike. They've got the same swing arm pivot point. They've got the same engine placement. They've got the same cross plane engine. They've got the weight is all in the same place, same basic suspension. That's because it works. It's all based on function. But you're right. It's 2% better every year, or 1.5% better every year. and some people say, who cares? I like my 5-year-old GSX-R or whatever.
Yeah, by all means. What did you have to say, Cinch?
Well, I was just going to say, though, I thought you guys did a pretty good job. So you have a vintage bike show going on with 70,000 people, but last year especially, there was really good representation of new bikes with the rides that were available and all the stuff going on. Like, you guys have really expanded that whole situation as well, which I think is neat because now you have a younger kid there that's there, oh, I can only afford this little bike, whatever, but now he gets to see or taste or see the real, that is promoting the sport and showing all the aspects to it. So that's something I've seen just happen in the last few years, the rides and all that stuff. And I mean,
Yeah, demo rides are a big deal. Mackenzie knows all about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the demo rides are open from 9 to 5 Friday and Saturday, 9 to, I believe, 2 on Sunday. We end a little earlier. But yeah, I mean, it's a great opportunity to actually go feel a new bike, For most of us, I know, like around me, we're riding old stuff, and I love my old bike. I have a CM 450E 82, but it's always fun to get on something new, and it's like, well, heck, maybe I might want a new bike, you never know. So it's fun to go to VMD, to go through the swap meet, see all the old stuff, see all the old parts, bikes. Heck, you might find a $500 bike that you get to score on, but then also go ride something brand new. So it's like you get the best of both worlds. It's not just vintage bikes, so it's cool.
Do you guys know who's going to be there this year? Is it something you can tell us?
Yeah, it's so far, and they're always coming in, so we're always working. But right now we do have Harley, Suzuki, and Royal Enfield.
Oh, awesome.
No BMW. Feet, haven't you done BMW there before?
I have.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
and it's always hard too, right? Because like everybody else in events and everything we all have different dates, we all have different things going on, and also just like the price of gas is insane. So everybody has to make kind of hard choices, right? On how close is this event to me? How close am I? And where are we going next? So I think that's just across every industry and travel.
Another thing this year is the Moto America Superbike race is the weekend after VMD. And so it's going to be a 2-weekend connected sort of a thing. So that's you would think that would bring more OEs in because or maybe they're just going to come for the Moto America race. I don't know. I know we get more people than they do there. So
And who knows? But honestly, what's cool about that is too, like people like Wall of Death are staying for both weekends. So if you miss them at one, come see them at Moto America as well. You know what I mean? You get racing in both weekends, still a little entertainment as well. The Wall of Death guys are always awesome. So.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of numbers, though, I mean, is it me or does it actually grow every year? I've been going there for almost 20 years. I mean, have you been to every VMD or, you've probably been going for
not everyone, but a lot of them, probably a dozen or more. Well, maybe more like 15. When it started in what, 92, 93?
Yeah.
It was in Westerville. And then it moved.
I never went to Westerville.
That was really early. It was just a small thing.
I went to Mid Ohio back in the day. I was a vintage field rep for the Vintage Japanese Motorcycle. I was a field rep for the Vintage Japanese Motorcycle Club, and we camped out in the infield. It was before the infield closed off and everything, and then we got all disgruntled whenever they locked us in. We're like, wait, but we're camping in here. We can't even go out and visit our buddies. So then it kind of
still struggle with the lockout thing there. So
Yeah. Well, after that year, we're like, okay, well,
we've got so many vendors and so many special bikes on display there.
I get it. You don't want to just leave it open to the general public and stuff. And there's been lots of stories from year to year with what it's been like living at Mid Ohio for that weekend. The one year they were lighting off bottle rockets all night long, like in the overflow lot to keep people from camping there, and I know that that's not necessarily under your control. There's what the AMA has going on, but then there's also a lot of it is really up to Mid Ohio Sports Car Course, like the on-site amenities and the staffing and the patrolling and security and stuff like that. So
you nailed it.
Well, and on top of it, so as you build up toward the event, like right now behind the scenes, like how many people are working on a daily basis to get all this stuff going?
I mean, honestly, the majority of us at any given time, right? So you have the IT team working on everything on the website and forms and registration. You have the racing team working on the classes, making sure that we're okay and the contracts are signed. You have me making sure that, everything's going good and communicating with Mid Ohio, making sure that we have all of these amenities that you're talking about ready to go. They're on top of it though. it's funny that you say that, right? I was in Daytona and I had a vendor walk up and he said, I just wanted to say over the last couple years, the porter potty situation, has
I
gotten
was
much
going to
better.
say, don't complain to the AMA that the shitter's full, okay?
No, but it's funny.
That's
It's
not
good
what
to
they're
hear that
doing
it's
there.
getting better, right? It's good to hear that it's getting better. And even though we might not have anything to do with that portion of it, it's good to hear that
I mean,
we're all working together to make a better experience.
Last year they actually sucked them out once during the whole weekend. That was refreshing.
Yes.
we're,
So to speak.
when we're camped.
I'm not sure refreshing is the right word to use. But.
Well, I work at a wastewater plant, so
Oh, there you go.
I have a lot of. I could have a lot of input on this situation if it was necessary.
So I'm going to break out the question that everybody wants me to ask. Is Vintage Days ever going to expand and be more days? Is there going to be a situation where we get to come earlier or
Vintage
something
week.
like
Vintage
that,
month.
like a vintage week or anything, or is that just not in the
Well,
cards?
it's already Thursday, Friday, Saturday, heavy duty, right? Sunday has become sort of a up until noon. It's about normal, but then it starts to bleed off pretty quickly at noontime, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I've heard
And I
that
will-
technically you can stay Monday. You don't actually have to leave until Monday. I think if you can camp out one more day.
That's right. If you're camping out, you do have most of the day Monday to clear out of there. No one's kicking you out Sunday night, right? Most people do want to leave Sunday though. They've had their fill, they're dusty, they're crunching on dirt, But yeah, you totally have until Monday to leave. And to answer the question on is it ever going to expand, I would say it would be awesome to, but it does take literally almost the entire office, right, away from the office of doing the job that the AMA does.
Right.
And we all go back to our hotel rooms or our trailers, and we also continue to work on our computers and try to get all the paperwork done and all the sanctioning, applications through and everything else. So I think at this time it'd probably be a little hard. And if we did expand VMD, I think the rest of the AMA would be a little bummed, all of our members, with our performance, and everything else like that. But it would be awesome, right, to have a whole week of VMD. I know I would be stoked.
Well, never know. I mean, yeah, I think, for me, 4 days is fine. What if there was one more day? I mean, I've even sometimes gone home on the Saturday just with things going on and stuff like that. I mean, 4 days in the mud, the dirt, and the beer, and the blood, and everything. That's about right.
We're fortunate that we live so close by, though. I mean, we can get up in the morning and drive down there and be there by mid-morning. Where some of these people are traveling from, I'm going to guess, all 50 states or close to it to be there. So there's some people that travel a significant portion of the time to be there for 3 days, where for us, the time to get there and get home is
I
minimal.
guess what would be an interesting concept is talking with the course, the sports car course, and saying, there won't be any events, but can you open up the campground? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if people want to pay extra or whatever, pay for the extra days, and they want to set up on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or something like that, come in early and just pay to camp those nights.
Which
Yeah,
would
because-
also relieve the bottleneck of everyone trying to get in there at the exact same time.
And also there's things so like we've been going for a million years, 15 years. So you have the captain's corner, and then we have what we call the FEMA camp next to it, which was all the Summit racing tents, and we do the Cleveland Moto thing. So people expect us to be there. So to make that happen, fortunately we get media badges a lot of times, but I'm there at 6:15 waiting for the thing. I got to screen, it is kind of hard. It would be nice to have a day to be able to get in and get like maybe the bigger things, or people that are kind of regular. I don't know, just people that have big machines and stuff, getting them through and in and
And
things.
maybe that's something we explore for expanding like a fast pass kind of situation
Right.
for certain folks, right? Because right now we have the swap meet and we have, racer fast pass to try to kind of mitigate some of that bottlenecking that you guys experience. Because I've experienced it as well. Like my first week at the AMA was VMD. So, I'm trying to get in.
That's jumping in the deep end of the pool.
Yeah, I was trying to get to work and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get fired. I'm going to be late, So I totally understand the traffic. I stay on site now, but I have experienced it in full. And I know that it's something we all definitely discuss almost every single meeting, with Mid-Ohio as well, on can we open up different gates? Can we, how do we do this? How do we make this better? How do we communicate it better? So we've started with these fast passes. And I think it's just kind of moving on from there and seeing how we can expand on that and
Okay.
move forward.
What is the
I'm
official?
curious. You guys. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to ask. So, what is the official for this year? So, what do you have? The racers are. If you're racing, you can get there on Wednesday, and then Thursday earliest, or vendors, or can you go through that real quick, just for the people listening and stuff?
Yeah, so Wednesday is actually just a load in for some of our practice racers on Thursday, and that's going to be like a little later in the day. We have our fast pass guys from 1 to 6, and then we got on Thursday we have vendors loading in, and we do have like people coming in on Thursday as well. But vendors load in is on Thursday. I'm sorry, and so you're gonna get a lot of that traffic as well, right? Because you got those big rigs coming in, you got other people coming in as well. We try to get them in a little earlier. We try to get the demo guys in on Wednesday as well, because we know those big rigs are coming in. We know they're gonna take a second to park. So we're trying to move around our schedule, right, with our vendors and everybody else to try to get some of those guys out of the way for you.
When you say vendors, are you talking about swap meet folks or vendors like in our area in the infield, or both?
So right now I'm talking about the infield. So with the fast pass swap meet and them coming in early as well, it definitely helps on that Wednesday, right? Or yeah. So you're getting, I believe we have it up to like 125 people for racers. We have 100 or 75 for swap meet. So you're getting a lot of those like big, I have a lot of stuff, maybe multiple vehicles and trailers and things like that kind of out of the way.
Multiple spots too, yeah.
But I will say, like, I think as much as we do, I went camping in Lost Lands last year, our past Lost Lands, and I got stuck in the Lost Lands traffic, right? It's a 2-lane road. I don't know how, like, if a festival that large can't seem to mitigate it. It's like I feel like we're trying our darndest to figure out, hey, how do we get some of these people off the road? Because I mean, even the city is kind of dealing with it too, right? Like people that just live there and are trying to get a coffee,
You're right.
Right.
And that's the thing. None of us don't appreciate all the stuff that you guys do. And it's like you can see that, like, sometimes people get mad and heated for a second because they're in a moment. But when you step back and look at it, you're like, this event is running. There's 70,000 people here, and there's not 70,000 employees. Like, you know what I mean? So like, I don't even know what the ratio is, but the fact that like the contained mayhem that is Mid-Ohio is done by your crew is exceptional.
One of the things I wanted to say is, like, what do you want, what would you ask of the people, the spectators and the people coming there, is there anything in particular that would be helpful, or, other than just being careful and being kind?
Just
and
more
stuff?
patience.
More patience.
I think patience, and also we do our best to try to communicate clearly, or like make sure, hey, okay, what's going on, what times are like the best to come in, and we try to put those in our emails and communications and your confirmation when you get your ticket and things like that. And I know I'm the worst at skimming things when I purchase something, right? Like I'm the absolute worst, and I read it right when I get to the venue. But I think with an event like this and knowing that it's going to take a minute to get in, sometimes we'll give you tips and tricks, right? And say, hey, you don't have to get here right at 1 and trickle in. Everybody wants to get there first, and your campsite and you've been going there for 30 years. But unfortunately, the nature of the beast is if you want that campsite, you do have to get in line early right now. So until we figure something out in the future, and I know we all think about it and talk about it a lot and work with Mid-Ohio to make it better, but I think Mid-Ohio is doing a good job as well of trying to make their ticketing better and trying to make sure, they have a lot of pressure from, their community or whatever that like township is, to make sure that each RV has the right space and that everything is registered and things like that. There's new rules that come in for them as well. So
I sort of wish they would have dual. When you come in, there's that one ticket check place that where the will call is. What is that? That's gate 3.
Yeah,
Gate 3.
Right.
If they would open half of the gate that's 300 yards down the road, the big one, the big wide one with all the gates in it, if they would open half of that to entry, they could have dual lanes coming in, and not just because that's a real sticking point. That's where everything slows down. It's a choke point right there.
Well, yeah, people could come in that from the west, and other people could come in from the east, and then
right. So you'd have
the only problem with that I could see is then you'd be blocking both lanes of traffic. So
Both lanes.
you know,
Yes,
so that could maybe be a problem there.
Yeah.
But I mean, to staff that gate, I mean, you're only talking what 4 or 5 people that are standing there checking people in. It's not like a
Yeah,
huge
and if I'm
staffing
not
issue.
mistaken, they've tried, I believe we brought that up and they had tried that in the past, and there was quite a bit more bottlenecking, even just where the turn is, right, to get to the campground. It's even though there's directors, right, people in these big rigs maybe aren't paying attention. There's a lot of people, they want to get in behind their friend and not let somebody else in. So it kind of creates a tiny bit of chaos.
The only other entry that I could see would be like the far east back corner back there, where we call that Ewok Village back in the woods, where there is a road that comes back in that corner. Like if people could come in there somehow, you know, it might
Yeah,
be.
we have talked to Mid-Ohio about staffing that for sure, and I know that's like a something that comes up every year as well. So hopefully, maybe in the future, that's something that could happen.
Not this year, but
Yeah.
but you
Not
know,
this
let's think
year,
about
but
it.
yes,
So-
we've definitely brought it up. So it'd be great if we could do that as well for sure, and maybe that's something that we could work out.
So what's
So you guys are based back in the corner there, where all the shenanigans are happening. Is that correct?
What are you talking about? Oh yeah,
Maybe.
Yeah.
We don't
None
have
of
to
us
answer
have
that
ever
question.
seen
They
it.
don't call me the Bourbon Fairy for nothing.
But yeah, we
Oh,
started.
I'm just curious.
It's on the far west
do you guys
part of
make
the.
it to the? Do you guys make it to the infield at all?
Of course.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Okay,
We
good.
every once in a while we stumble off our chair. and-
Because not everybody does. A lot of people hang in that area. That's
Oh,
it. I think.
Well,
a
I
lot of
mean, it's things have changed for me. Okay, so when I first went down there, you know, almost 20 some years ago, you know, I was very hardcore about the vintage motorcycle thing and bringing bikes to show and scouring the swap meet to find parts and everything. But it's evolved a bit, you know, with the advent of eBay and Amazon. Like, it's not the only place in the world where you can find a side cover for a Honda Superhawk or something like that, you know. So, and I've gotten not as hardcore about, you know, restoring and building vintage bikes and stuff. So there's definitely been at least a shift for me in doing all the you know, nitty gritty motorcycle stuff and backing off and just it being much more of a social event for me.
Well, yeah.
I absolutely still love going to the infield, watching the races, the trials, the most amazing thing, which I almost had never done because I was so busy, was doing the lap of history.
Oh, great.
And I'm like,
So
I
good.
started doing that a couple years ago, and I'm like, why have I not been doing this?
Right. Well, that's the thing. There's so much to do. I've actually made 3 documentaries now on my YouTube channel over the years of all the different stuff you can do there. But here's a question I have for you guys. What's one mind-blowing thing that nobody knows about that's behind the scenes? Like something that even shocked you, like, wow, I can't believe we have to do this, or this takes place, or what is the one thing that you were like, wow, this is insane? Is there anything like that?
Well,
I'll be honest, I don't know. Mitch, do you know? Because I feel like the people make it mind blowing, right?
Yeah,
Like how the energy is.
I mean, last year was pretty epic. We had Brad Lackey there as
Yeah.
Grand Marshal, and you know, Brad's got such a history in motocross. I mean, he's been there from the very beginning, really. World champion in '82. His bike, his Suzuki, was there from '82. The exact bike. It's a great hit. It's a great story on how he got that bike back. It disappeared into Europe in the Netherlands, and he found it. But the people that we have every year, we had Brock Glover the year prior to that. We had Steve Wise, rest in peace, Steve Wise. He was there a few years ago for us. Kevin Schwantz was there. Dave Aldana was there. I mean,
John
you get a
Penn.
chance to talk to these people and say hi and ask them questions and rub shoulders. And this year, we've got a whole bunch of really amazing. You guys want to hear what's happening this year? What the theme is?
Oh,
Of
please.
course.
It's 50 years of AMA Superbike race.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
So the first championship, which Pridmore won, was in '76. So this is 50 years. So we're going to have a whole bunch of really cool motorcycles that were on the track in 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83. We're also going to have a lot of people there. Freddie Spencer, Mike Baldwin, maybe Bubba Schobert, people like that. So I mean, those guys are heroes to most of us, I would imagine.
Oh, 100%.
And to understand sort of what they did, I mean, Wayne's 83 GPZ will be there. That's in the museum, but we're going to bring that. He beat the Interceptors that year with an air-cooled, old-fashioned GPZ up against, 7 or 8 or 9 full-on factory Hondas with HRC behind them and billions of dollars of investment. So it's a great David and Goliath story. To me, that's the stuff that really, really means something. And I'm not demeaning any of the other stuff that happens there, but to me, you're only going to get. I mean, they're starting to go. I hate to say it, but I helped Malcolm Smith with his book and was a close friend, and he's gone now. So
Get him while you can.
Right.
yeah. Do any of you guys have the Malcolm Smith book?
Negative.
No,
His autobiography? Oh, it's amazing.
it sounds great.
It's great.
It's amazing.
I'm going to consider getting that.
I'll definitely put it on my list.
I've always been a fan of Malcolm Smith. I think he's a wonderful person. I've never met him in person. I don't think, but yeah.
I just have to say, I am so happy. I know this is since the Superbikes have come back to Mid Ohio, that made me so happy because that was such a great event too back in the day. It was like all those events. I just remember the Boston years and Nikki Hayden years and all those years was so good.
Yep. Huge stuff.
Yeah.
So we're gonna celebrate that. That's gonna be the big deal, and we're gonna have 8 or 10 or 12 really, really cool pedigreed bikes on display there. So
that's
and,
great.
and we'll get up on stage with Freddie and Baldwin and those guys and ask them questions about their career. I mean, Freddie Spencer won the 250 and the 500 World Championship in '85 in the same year. I mean, think about that. That's insanity. So.
Mitch, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention John Penton, too. You being a Northeast Ohio, Lorain County boy.
Absolutely.
And he's another guy that we lost recently.
Yeah. And, Mert Lawwell's not doing well. Ken Howard is not doing well, health-wise. And that's just what happens. And I think we have to celebrate these people as much as possible. So that's my input really on the event is setting all that stuff up and talking to those guys and getting them to come. And
Are those guys going to end up on the track somehow at all? Anyway,
on the racetrack?
Yeah, a little
lap of
honor.
history?
Lap of honor, yeah. Laps, yeah.
Sweet.
That'd be
sweet.
amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, you mean so when I pay $10 and I can do the lap of history, I could be riding with Freddie Spencer?
Yep.
Wow.
You will be.
Yeah.
You will be.
Yeah.
You will be.
And then that turns into this one time I was on the track with Freddie Spencer
yeah, I was hanging right behind him the whole time.
the whole time.
And I smoked them.
And Freddie Spencer says, I was riding with John McElfresh.
Yeah.
You'd mentioned the infield, and one of the things we do in the infield is we've done a live group podcast there.
Yeah, with the Motorcycles and Misfits.
With Motorcycles and Misfits and NOCO Moto out of Northern California. And Colorado. Yeah, sorry. NOCO. But yeah. Oh, what did you say before? Mr. Blubber? Yeah.
Our bumbling narrator.
Yeah. But so that, we've done that. And then I know Liza and Phil at times have done some of the seminars and stuff like that. So we do crawl out of our dirty little corner and come see the rest of the world.
We do it quite a bit. I put about 260 miles on a pit bike last year.
Yeah.
So
Also, rest in peace, our friends in the infield, Skidmark Garage.
Oh, so the Skidmark Garage is a motor. Yeah, you know what Skidmark is. Okay.
yeah, they're good friends. We have another part of the guys are opening a new garage called Flat Out, so they're going to have another community garage, but they're just getting it set up now. So hopefully, maybe in a year or two, they'll be able to come and help out.
Yeah, I think we did a big feature story on those guys 3 or 4 years ago. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, they just put themselves to rest. Last weekend was their final blowout.
I went down to the auction.
But what they did was pretty cool because Brian's still doing Moto Go, so he's still doing the training courses and stuff, and that's really cool because that's bringing shop class. So it's kind of neat that it's separated. So now you have one group of guys that are going to be completely dedicated to the community garage, and Brian can be completely dedicated to Moto Go. So I think it's kind of a win-win for everybody at the end of the day.
Yep. It's good stuff for sure.
So thinking about, John was kind of brought up with eBay and everything going on. How's the swap meet going? Like, have you guys seen? Is it just
Honestly,
as big? Is it down?
It's
like,
gangbusters. It's gangbusters. I think we have
860.
we have that, and we only have about 50 spots left.
Wow. Okay.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's
So I mean,
It's a city. You can be lost in there forever.
Oh, definitely. It's insane. And the funny part is you could walk through it on Thursday afternoon and then ride through it Friday morning and see completely different stuff. Like the
Yes.
stuff, I mean, some of the stuff's been there for 30 years, but some of it changes quite a bit. There are a few items that I've seen for sale every year for 15 years. But
Yeah.
I mean, there were years, I mean, especially Phil, where I think he went through like 5 or 6 bikes where it was sold a bike, bought a bike, sold a bike, bought, like just like traded back and forth and traded up and ended up coming home with something really great. Just started the week with something crappy and made it better just by
Well,
get it
for anybody
running,
that,
get it running, sell it, buy something else, get that running, sell it, and next thing you know.
Oh yeah, I never have time to walk through there. So if any of you guys or the listeners see an 82 CM450E side cover, let me know. I'm on the hunt.
All right, we'll put our feelers out for you.
John probably has one in his garage.
I don't. I've never owned one of those, but they're a fantastic bike.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Hold up, time out. No, I love that bike. It's awesome.
So I had a couple years ago, I had a moment where the sun was going down, the dust was in the air, it was rising. I think actually Liza took a picture and has this picture, but the smoke was causing the sky to look kind of red because of the dirt and stuff. The barrel racing was going, everybody was having a great time. And it just hit me like that one moment. I looked up and I was like, this is freaking amazing. So, like, what about you guys? Do you have a personal experience that's happened at your time at Vintage Days that you just sat down and were like, I mean, there's a lot of great moments, but what was the one that you're just like, wow, I can't believe this happens and we're part of this?
Oh man, so many. I mean, there are so many. I mean, you guys, anybody remember the Mamba thing?
No, tell us more about this.
So this is back in 2006. I was at Motorcyclist Magazine. These crazies from Wisconsin called me. A couple of engineers, Wes Orloff and his wife Leah, who he married later. They're both Harley engineers, but they said, "Hey, we've got a group of 15 or 18 people, and we all go road racing at Road America, and we're all into everything and everything. We have a story idea for you. We want to come to Mid Ohio, buy a motorcycle, prep it using only parts from the swap meet, get it through tech, and have you race it in the middleweight superbike class, and then write a story in the magazine about it." And I went, "Ooh, that sounds good. I don't think it's ever going to happen." But,
I think that's totally doable.
They totally made it happen. It was a great story. They researched all. I mean, they had machinists, engineers, painters, development people, a lot of talent. They showed up with a lathe in one of the vans. I mean,
wow.
They were turning parts. Yeah, and we'll get to that. But
I seem to recall something about that, and they were looking for muriatic acid to get aluminum out of the cylinder of a bike or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. That was
so they did all this research. They said, well, we got to find a bike that's common and a bike that will be easy to do. So they thought GPZ 550, right? I mean, that's a real standard. There's a million of them out there. Of course, there'll be one for sale in the swap meet. They showed up Thursday morning and scoured every inch of the swap meet. No GPZ 550s at all.
Yeah,
so what they ended up buying was a KZ 550 LTD cruiser.
Okay.
Close enough.
Well, sort of. I'll say this: the motor worked.
Any port in a storm.
I mean,
so they spent 2 full days throwing the wheels away, throwing the forks away.
Did they keep the king queen seat?
Well, it stayed on there for a while as a joke. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyway, it ended up looking like a pretty decent deal. I mean, they had shocks from an Elsinore. They had exhaust systems, 3 different exhaust systems they cut and welded together. They were working on it at 2 or 3 in the morning. We had about 100 people surrounding our pit, and they started it up after they did a top end rebuild on the thing. And it actually and like 100 people started screaming and yelling and clapping. It was great. So and then I got 7th out of like 15. The thing wobbled like crazy going on the front straightaway because, it was a piece, basically. But it was a hilarious story, and we had a great time. And the magazine piece that we did on it was just fantastic. So I'm going to rerun that because it's been 20 years. That was in 06, so it's the 20th anniversary this year. So
that kind of predates. That sounds like a lot of what the younger YouTube kids are doing now, where they come up with these crazy schemes. But you guys did that 20 years ago. That's awesome.
I mean, every year I have the ambition of like, I'm going to go get a bike and I'm going to make it run, and then I'm going to go hit the burnout pit or do something, but then you get down there, you have a couple beers, you're talking with your friends, the temperature goes up to about 90 degrees.
Uncle
You don't want
Shaky
to
stops by.
You don't want to crawl out from your shade and go over and start working your ass off on a bike.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happens. I mean, I still end up getting like, I swear, like 8 or 10 bikes running for people while I'm there, like it's enough, like
Providing a good service, exactly.
So if you had the opportunity to tell all the attendees one thing, what would you tell them?
Oh,
That
God.
you can't see it all. You can't see it all in one weekend. I'm the event manager, and it's almost impossible for me to see the whole thing in one weekend. And it's like I have to be everywhere.
I'm pretty sure there's certain things we don't want to see.
I would say a couple things. I would say bring a pit bike for sure.
Oh, for sure.
You've got to have a pit
Walking's
bike.
for suckers at Mid-Ohio.
And then pace yourself. Pace yourself. I mean, don't be hungover Saturday morning so bad that you can't move, So
Hey.
I'm sure that never happens.
So I had a guy, this last video I did this last year for the Mid-Ohio event, I interviewed a bunch of our friends that we've known over the years, and I asked them what Mid-Ohio meant to them and things, and why did they keep coming back. And Swiggy, actually, from Moto, I think said the best line. He said, this event is what Harley people tell other people their events are like, but they aren't. Like, because you have insanity, but you also have kindness, you have sharing, you have diversity of bikes and people, and there might be a death metal band playing in an aisle, and then you might have the captain and his shenanigans. You might have a quiet group of people up top that are hanging out and having dinner and just being chill. Like,
maybe it's like a two-wheel dead show.
Yeah.
I always called it Woodstock for motorcycles, or Phil says like Burning Man for motorcycles. But
that's it. Woodstock for motorcycles, no doubt.
So how hard is it? Because there has to be a line. Like, and we try to help keep the line, and a lot of people that have been there for a long time do, but it has to be interesting to let the event have the freedom that gives it its draw without letting it get too crazy. So like how much goes into that? Because if you take too much away, you take away the event.
That's a fine line between clever and stupid, as Spinal Tap would say.
Yes.
But that is a key thing, because you want it to be loose, and you want people to have a great time, so they just go, fuck me, I got to come back next year and the year after and the year after. But when things start to get a little out of hand, then Mid-Ohio gets involved, and security gets involved, and then it's a bit of a challenge, especially for us, and for the people on the wrong end of whatever's happening down there, or in the corner, whatever, or wherever.
That's the rule. When security shows up, or when the police show up, you calm the fuck down.
Like, chill out.
You do what they ask you to do, and if they want you to put it away, you put it away, and whatever. You're allowed to. You go hard right up to the point where they tell you can't.
Yeah,
and then
that would
you
be
don't.
a good message for everybody. Exactly.
Well, I mean, like in our area, so like you have all the people that have been going there for so long, and so we have our FEMA can on both sides, and then the captain's down there. I mean, like, you have a lot of people that have been there for a long time trying to help a little bit too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we've told people, like, hey, dude, chill it out, take it out. And I've actually, back in the day when I might have been one of those people causing the problems, people have taken my spark plugs out of bikes. So like we have done that.
I'm kind of a big guy, and I've walked a number of drunk guys back to their campsites and stuff, or just because there were people who couldn't find it, like we have helped people. We try to, you know what I mean? Like, we don't want anybody to get hurt. We don't want anybody. We just want everybody to have a good time.
But I guess the important part is you guys recognize the fact that, like, that's what makes the event. So you can't.
100%. Nobody wants to take the fun stuff away, right? It's like, have all the fun. But I think the mindset of, like, I don't want to ruin this for everybody is a good one, right? Like, have all the fun, but maybe be realistic, right?
Enjoy responsibly.
Enjoy responsibly, but maybe turn it up to 11, but maybe not up to 15.
That's just really cool to hear, though. That's I think a lot of people want to hear that like the event, like the people throwing the event know the event that they're throwing, which obviously you do, but it's just nice to know.
Oh yeah.
So where are you guys going to be partying?
FEMA.
Oh man.
Well, our thing is a little different because, like me especially, I'm attached to the Grand Marshal.
So you're kind of on the clock, kind of.
So what we do at 5 or 6 o'clock is, we're not really sure who's going to be the Grand Marshal yet, but because there's a whole bunch of really famous people coming, but we'll take them to dinner, and up above our hotel there's a little golf course called, I forget the name of it, but there's a thing called the Black Dog Tavern. Have you guys ever been up there?
No.
It's right above our hotel.
The farthest we've ever been from the track is into the crappy little Mexican joint in town.
Right.
We
And
usually
sometimes
ride
we go-
something with no plate, no lights.
That's the other thing. We go to various places, but there's a Mexican spot right at the exit there off the freeway, right at Belleville.
Yeah, yeah.
And pretty good Mexican restaurant. It's hard to screw up Mexican food, really. But so we usually do dinner with those guys in the evening. So Mackenzie's got a different story because she's camping there, but I'm usually ending up sort of wining and dining those folks and all our special guests and VIPs that show up. So and there's going to be a lot of them this year because the Team Honda guys from late 70s and early 80s when the bikes were 1025cc and not 750 liquid cooled VF 750s.
Oh.
A lot of Honda guys are going to be there this year. So
That's awesome.
but Mackenzie's situation is going to be different. So maybe, Mackenzie, you may
You know where
I
to
won't go
find
into
us.
too much.
You
I
know
won't
where
go
to
into too
find us,
much
Mackenzie.
detail.
You know where to find
I
us.
won't say, I get into trouble, but I get around. I have some fun.
Good.
All right.
That's good.
It's
to hear.
it's actually so much fun to see, the controlled chaos during the day, right? And it's like, man, I'm running around, I'm working, I'm doing all this stuff. And then at 5 o'clock, everything kind of clears out. There's still some racing going on. Go watch that. But to watch everybody, even just from the staff, kind of just chill, have that like almost moment of like, oh my gosh, like we're getting ready to like have some fun tonight is
So
always
there
like
is
that sweet
there is a
spot,
point
right?
where you're kind of done for the day. You're on your own.
Oh,
then.
yeah.
You're free.
And unfortunately, I can't say the same for Mid-Ohio, right? It's they're on 24/7. So you see the security guards and if you guys pay attention to like, right? And I know most of us are just flying by. You're not really like paying attention to who's on the corner or who's at this gate or whatever. But I will say those people work their booties off. It's crazy to
My
see,
favorite
the
hero.
same guard 24 hours a day.
Oh, we
The
know.
lady at the campground entrance who's been there every year
I think
for
isn't her name
years.
Wendy.
I forget her
I think
name.
it's Wendy.
I think it's Wendy. I mean,
Oh, we
that,
bring her snacks, water.
that lady, I
Yeah.
mean, like, God bless her.
She
Yes.
knows. She
and
knows
more
how-
of that, right?
They need to send all of our police forces to her to learn how to de-escalate situations. Because I've seen her take a guy that was in a giant truck pulling in that's driven 38 days to get there, is mad and just wants to kill everybody. And she literally says 5 words to him, and the guy's like, "Okay, sorry, ma'am, I'll just go ahead and park over here."
Oh my gosh.
She's awesome,
Yes,
man.
yes, Wendy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. So it obviously we've promoted this for years and we know our opinions, but each of you, if you had to tell somebody that's listening to the podcast and they're like, well, I live 5 states away, I don't know if I want to go, what would you tell them and say, hey, this is why you got to come to the event, straight from the horse's mouth?
Well, if you are a motorcycle person, you will never go to a more fun event, I don't think, honestly. I mean, I've been all over the world. I've gone to millions of events. It's by far my favorite. The one thing that sort of before I was working for the AMA, I liked it a lot more because I was actually out here. I brought my son a couple of years and he raced my old YC250 and I rode something and we were just kind of hanging out and doing what you guys do a lot of the time, and it was just great fun. And we were writing magazine stories and taking photos. It was just really good. It's a little different when you work there because there's some stress because you've got responsibilities and you got to make sure that stuff gets done, especially for Mackenzie because she's got her fingers in just about everything that happens, and there's always shit going wrong, little things here, little things there. Somebody's not happy, whatever. That's just part of the deal. But you will never have more fun if you like motorcycles, I think.
Is there any place else though where you can go and get vintage road racing, trials riding, vintage motocross, like all just so many hair scrambles, the lap of history, so many different things related to motorcycles? I mean, Barber's
Barber does it,
closed,
yeah.
but do they do all those things? I mean,
Yeah, they do.
Barber does it, but it's a different vibe, right? Like it's it's a totally different vibe.
I've heard a lot about this. I've wanted to go to Barber. I almost went to Barber, and then my buddy got thrown in jail.
Well, here's an analogy that works. Here's a pretty good analogy. Barber is like going to Augusta National for the Masters.
I've said the same thing.
Going to Mid-Ohio is like going to your local municipal where you get a keg of beer and drive around in your golf cart and have a fucking good time. So
I've heard if you fart after 10 o'clock at Barber, somebody's going to yell at you and tell you to shut up.
Can confirm.
It's a great place.
I've actually been to Barber, but not for their. I've been to the museum. I've been there,
it's just a
but not for their
it's
weekend.
It's just a different deal. They just do things a little differently, and it's a different deal. It's a big event too. It sort of rivals us. So having us in July and them in October is just a great thing. So what we need is something on the West Coast in the spring, like at Laguna Seca or something like that.
Ooh.
So
Yeah, that would be good.
That'd be fun.
I'm not sure they can do this type of thing in California, but
You can bring the 2-strokes.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So where do you guys see Vintage Days in 10 years?
Love that.
oh God.
I mean,
I hope
I
you
would-
say just the same thing.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
imagine another venue, right? So it's like just the same thing, but better. I mean, keep getting better, keep getting bigger, keep making more. Are cool stuff for people to do, right? Like keep making it enjoyable and don't let it be ruined, right?
It is a lot. It is a lot bigger than it used to be, and that has created some problems.
Oh, what was
And,
the official
just to be
attendance
honest.
last year? What was the final numbers?
We
last
don't. We don't really talk about that, but it was the number you said earlier was about right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wowza.
And that's a lot of people. I mean, it used to
Yeah.
be 35,000.
Yeah.
Now it's double basically.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's and whenever you have that many people, it's just a headache everywhere. There's all kinds of stuff, parking.
But you know what
getting in.
I did learn from Mid Ohio over the years is I completely understand how traffic in India works now. Because of
Isn't that crazy? That was
Mumbai
my
madness.
first thought when I first went there and I was getting driven around in a golf cart like, hey, this is going to be your event next year. I was like, oh my gosh, this feels like a different country
Oh yeah.
all of a sudden,
Those
but
intersections.
controlled, but so controlled.
we had joked that we had enough resources there that if the apocalypse would happen, we had enough resources at Mid Ohio to jumpstart society. Enough fuel, enough food, enough everything for 10. Like if bring enough for you and 10 other people, and everybody does that, and it's just ridiculous.
Now, did you guys get the weather order in early this year, or are we going to have to deal with this random weather?
It's going to rain.
Yeah,
It's going to rain. Then it's going to be
we
sunny.
put in the
Then it's going to be
PTO
hot.
request. Yeah, we
Then
put
it's
in
going
the
to be
PTO
hot.
request.
There's going to be mud, and then there's going to be snow.
Yeah.
The only thing we haven't yet had is snow,
Yeah.
but it could happen.
Don't say it.
Ohio weather is insane. I'm from California where it doesn't rain ever. You're not allowed to run your sprinklers because you're in a drought, and now all of a sudden it just rains nonstop.
Yeah.
Okay, so people right now, for a while there, it was early registration or early sales, right? Like you had to be an AMA member or something for a while. Is it now? Is it's general public open tickets?
Nope.
No?
So you still get that you still get the discount right now if you're an AMA member through May 31st.
Okay.
And then but tickets are on sale for everyone, but if you are a member, you do get that discount and it's through May 31st.
Okay, and then somebody asked me to clear something up. If you want to camp, do you have to buy 2 passes with the camping, or how does that work?
Yep. So Mid Ohio has changed that policy, right? And bundled their camping. So the camping pass is bundled with 2 tickets. There's no way to do that right now. So basically, don't buy your ticket first if you plan on camping. Buy the camping pass. You're going to get 2 passes.
Okay.
That's what they had always done with the RVs, because I would get when I had my RV.
Right.
If you bought an RV pass, you had to get 2 weekend passes.
But
so
what
now
if somebody's on their motorcycle and they're just riding up by themselves and they want to camp in their thing? You're still paying for basically 2 passes to get in, correct?
Well, what you do
That
there,
is-
you
yeah.
do there is you go buy a pass, and then you ride your motorcycle because you're meeting up with your other friends at the campground, and you're going to camp with them. And you talk to Wendy and say, "Yep, I'm camping."
La 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 la.
But all right, so I just wanted to make sure that's the way it was. That's fine. And so we just wanted to clear that up. And then, yeah, I guess that's pretty much all the questions we had. Is there anything that you guys want to talk about that you guys have, or is there some surprises coming up or anything else? Well,
No
no.
big surprises from us for right now. I will say that we do have a change in the infield. We've moved to the pavilion. So if you saw the Penton guys there last year, the AMA membership tent is actually going to be located in that pavilion as you cross over the bridge, and we're the first thing in. So there will be some changes to the infield. If you feel like you can't find, hey, I want to get my membership, I want my t-shirt, so on, I want to see some cool bikes. We are in that pavilion. So you shouldn't be able to miss us, but we are not in the same spot this year.
Okay, and then here's a good question too. So for people that maybe aren't, they heard about the event, they're coming, but they're not avid motorcyclists, so they don't really understand what the AMA is all about. So what is the benefit for people listening to this when you go ahead and you buy that AMA membership? What are you getting for that money? I know that talking to Mitch that he's pretty excited to talk about the magazine, but what else is going on too?
Well, the cool thing about the AMA, right, is we're a membership rights organization. So everything we do goes right back into motorcyclist rights. So it benefits you as a motorcyclist. Even if you're not the most avid motorcyclist, we are fighting for the tracks rights. We're fighting for rec rights. We're fighting for just watching it, right? And trying to get not to get tracks shut down and things like that. We have our grassroots manager, Bob, who also teaches motorcycling. So he is one of the best resources that I've had at this job. But for $49 a year, yes, you're benefiting that. And maybe you don't see it every day, but it is affecting you, right? But you also get that really good magazine monthly. We're the last motorcycling monthly magazine. It also comes with awesome benefits as well. So like, it's almost like that AAA discount, but it's all motorcycling related. So if you want to go to a race, there's discounts on races. You want to go even to hotels for traveling. There's discounts for that stuff too.
Accessories like
accessories.
Well, I know at
it's
Summit,
crazy.
I work for Summit Racing, and I know we did something with you guys where I think you have a set of tires, some kind of stuff that's like if you're an AMA member, you can get a pretty sizable discount at Summit for those products.
You can easily pay for your membership. Also,
Yeah.
Well,
all
and the
sanctioning
camping
we do,
thing.
I mean,
go ahead. Finish.
so many hundreds and hundreds of events, recreational events are sanctioned by the AMA. So many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of motor hair scrambles events, amateur stuff is sanctioned by the AMA. So we offer you stuff to do. We fight for the rights. We look for bad legislation. We follow it up. We get people to fight against it and to call their congressmen or whatever, or their local government officials or their bureaucrats. The magazine itself, look, an AMA membership is $4.08 a month. That's a coffee. So it's really a no-brainer.
Well, Mitch,
based on
it seems
all the
like you
things
know
we
quite a
get.
bit about it. So tell people about the magazine. What can they expect to find in the magazine that comes out?
Well, let's see. We do a little of everything because we have a really wide-ranging membership, right? We have little kids riding dirt bikes and racing on little 50s and 85s and 100s and all that. And we've got grizzled veterans like us who have been around forever. We've owned 50 or 60 motorcycles. We still ride, and everybody in between. So we've got a whole bunch of different sort of perspectives on stuff. And the magazine covers a lot of that. We do travel, we do touring, we do adventure stuff, we do history, we do technology, we do events, we do government, what we call GRD stuff, which is government relations stories on things that are happening in terms of legislation and regulation, things that are good, things that are bad. The latest issue that we have has the 10 most dangerous things that threaten motorcycling. That issue is just now coming out. Hopefully you guys have seen that.
Is that monthly? Is that monthly
Yeah.
or
Monthly, yeah.
Yeah, it is monthly.
Yeah.
So
And I'll
basically,
say another cool thing too is that we are a pretty small organization, right? So when you're reaching out to us, we're reading it. It's not just going to some call center in a different country or some inbox that never gets read. We're seeing it. We're talking about it. We have our in-house call center that's open 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. There's only about 30 plus of us in the office that are actually having these conversations and trying to work on the problems that come to us from our members. So with that membership, you do have the access to talk to us, you know?
I'll just be honest. I've been a member of the AMA, but I do not have a current membership. But one of my plan for this year is when I buy my camping pass, I'm going to first sign up for my AMA membership. So that's like $50 or whatever. And then I'm going to use my AMA discount to buy my camping pass. Overall, it's maybe going to cost me an extra $10, but I'm going to get that. I'm going to become a member again, and I'm going to get the magazine on a monthly basis, and I'm going to help the AMA. So
Well,
that's my
plus,
plan.
Yeah,
I don't
totally.
know. There's something about a magazine, especially when you're taking your morning constitutional, of having a magazine in your hands to
Yeah,
read is
and
so
you're-
much better
yeah.
than
And
a
you're
phone
sitting
or
there and you're
something,
thinking
right?
of, an article written by Mitch Bohm,
Yeah.
and, it's like,
I don't think he wants to know that you're sitting on the crapper reading his article, John. You could have left that out.
oh,
And,
My apologies. My
and you
apologies
are-
for my friends.
and you are reasonably committed to keeping that magazine all human touch related. No AI nonsense splurged throughout.
Oh, God.
That is all human perspective.
You just
coming at us.
insulted Mitch.
No.
I mean, I write I ride half of it or 3/4 of it every single month. So no, that's definitely not going to happen.
So
That's important for publication now.
and basically,
I mean-
you're getting a full magazine for what did you say? $4.83 a month.
You're getting an entire AMA membership for $4.08.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But even if you just got the magazine,
If you just got the magazine, right?
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is our new issue here. 10 biggest threats to motorcycling. It's also got a big story on Gary Jones. You guys remember who Gary Jones is? National champion. He basically developed the YZ250 for Yamaha.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
because he was built, so we've got, there's new stuff, old stuff, GRD stuff, everything in here. It's really, really well done. So,
It's interesting because it's so nice to see somebody involved with the project and be that excited about it. You can tell that you're not just making a magazine, that you actually like doing it.
no, it's about the only thing I'm good at in my life. And I've had 40 years to sort of get good at it. And the response we get from members and readers and industry people is just really rewarding. It's very, very, there's just great storytelling in it. There's just really good perspective in it. We have good columns. We have good news stuff up front. It's like the traditional magazine experience that we all remember from back in the day.
Yeah.
You get your dirt bike every month. You get your Cycle World or your Motorcyclist or your Cycle every month in the magazine. Things have changed, but we don't really cover a lot of news in the magazine. It's more feature-oriented stuff and deep dig stuff. Like the Gary Jones story is 14 pages long.
Oh, wow.
We dig. The stories are long, involved, and they're really good history. They're source material, basically, reference material. So
Yeah.
I'm going to commend the article you guys did about a year ago on the Z50s.
yeah, of course.
That was just an awesome one. I still,
How many of you guys have seen On Any Sunday? I know it's a dumb
yeah.
question. But,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, I've seen it at
remember-
Mid Ohio.
Right. We tried. The screen kept going like this up and down. Up and down, up and down.
They played it in Lorraine at the 50th anniversary of it. They had it in a matinee there in Lorraine, and John Penton was there. That
Oh,
would
it's
have been
great stuff.
2022.
Great stuff. In the dirt track section, sort of toward the front, he shows a couple guys coming out of a corner, and one guy wipes his thing, and he goes, "They don't all make it." The late Ken Pressgrove, they don't all make it through the season, right? Well, we just did a story in the last issue on Ken Pressgrove. Nobody knows who he is, but he was mentioned in the movie that millions of people have seen and have watched 20, 30, 40 times over and over and over. So I finally dug into that and did a piece on who Ken Pressgrove was from Kansas City. So that's the sort of stuff we do in the magazine. It's great reading. And again, it's not sit-up reading. It's not news. You can get that online all day long. It's sit-back reading. It's comfortable chair with a beer reading or some scotch. So anyway.
But you know what?
That's my feel, and I'm sticking to
Just
it.
hearing how excited you are about the magazine makes me more excited to read it because I know the people behind it are actually enthusiastic about it. Like there's something to that, right? Like, I mean, like,
So I know that the AMA exists only to put on VMD. but no. But in all reality, there's a lot of other stuff. Is there anything? I know you had said three-wheeled motorcycles, three-wheelers, and supercross schedule or something. Was there anything else that's going on with the AMA that you would like to mention or anything right now, legislation-wise or anything?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of that stuff is always flowing. I mean, lane splitting, lane sharing, lane filtering, that whole thing's happening. Autonomous vehicles, right to repair legislation.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Hear ye, hear ye.
I mean, you guys have probably seen this. We're starting to see a lot of issues with these little electric motorcycles, and I'm not talking about mountain bikes. I'm talking about these, mostly Chinese-made, $2,500 e-bikes. Kids. I mean, I don't remember being that bold when I had my SL70. We would push our bikes across the street, and if the cop saw us, he would just drive by and make sure we weren't riding on the street. But we would go from trail to trail to trail to field, and they didn't really bother us. These days, they just jump on the road and go. No helmet, high speeds in the intersections.
No license,
and then when the
no
cops try to
insurance.
chase them, they run. And so that's a real problem. That's one of the things that's listed there. And there's a lot of really good information in here, and a lot of it, has kind of a big effect on what's going on. But there's a lot of really good sit-back feature-y stuff in there, and we spent a lot of time and effort on it, and the feedback we're getting is good. We have to sort of cover a little bit of everything. It's sort of like we talked about Cycle World earlier. I worked there for a while, and it's always been a great magazine. They had to cover a little of everything. So you had Ron Greiwe covering dirt bikes, and you had Peter Egan and David Edwards and those guys covering the street bike side and the history side, and you had Kevin Cameron doing technical stuff. That's sort of what we have to be. We have to cover a little bit of everything because that's their membership. We have a really wide-ranging membership. We just can't do street or dirt or history or retro stuff. We have to do a little of everything. So it's a lot of touring stuff, a lot of real sort of bread and butter emotional motorcycle stuff in there. So
You're there for every motorcyclist,
Love
Yeah.
that.
every motorcyclist.
Now, with the membership, there is roadside assistance, right, or at least towing? And what is
Yeah,
what is,
so
go ahead.
So for up to 5 motorcycles, you can get roadside assistance if you sign up for auto renew, and that's pretty much all there is to it. If you sign up for auto renew, you do have to register those 5 bikes, so they have to have VIN numbers. But yeah, you get up to. I've heard some really good stories of, I was out in the middle of the desert. I was out on the side of a mountain, and you guys saved me. So it's pretty awesome, and it does go through changes. So I always keep up to date on what those changes are. Whether registering the motorcycles is fairly new, but it's a free service that comes as long as you auto renew, and
So again,
you
for
get your membership every year.
$4.83 a month, you get a magazine, you get towing, you get all this advocacy, you get people fighting for your rights. So it seems like a pretty if you're into motorcycles, it seems like a no-brainer that you should probably be a member.
that's what we keep telling everybody.
Yeah.
No brainer.
Well, I'm going to be responsible and re-up my membership.
I'm
I've been
gonna
remiss.
hound all you guys. I'm gonna look you
You
up. If you guys
should.
don't start becoming AMA members, I'm gonna be pissed.
You
Yeah,
should.
yeah.
You should.
Hey,
And
I
if you sign up at VMD, you do get the event T-shirt
There you go.
included in that membership. So
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just re-upped for 3 years, like 4 or 5 days ago.
oh man,
Oh, see, you
All right, well, thank you.
you went and got your membership before you had to meet with the AMA. Wow. Oh, yeah.
It's called planning.
Believe me, I did think about it. Like, I probably shouldn't have my membership if we're going to be doing this thing.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
well, it sounds like we got
they
you
could be
back,
they could
so.
be looking me up and be like, I see he's not a member. Excuse me, we can't do this with you now.
We're having a bad connection.
I can't hear you.
But it is amazing and we're so happy that you guys came on and talked to us today, because this event, it is amazing how much an event can mean to people, and how many friends that I have now that are friends for 10, 15 years that have become some of my best friends that I only get to see once a year, but we still talk all year. But this is like a homecoming. It's like a family reunion. It's like
10-4. I mean, like, just the people that I only actually see at Mid-Ohio, but we still stay in touch and can't wait to see each other in person at Mid-Ohio is vast. And it's just a great, that's great.
And just like I mentioned before, there's stories like we had these kids come up and they said, yeah, our dad listened to your podcast, found out about Mid-Ohio. He went when we were 4. We didn't go with him, but he bought a vintage motorcycle. Then for the next 6 years, we listened to your podcast and worked on the motorcycle. And now this year we brought that motorcycle back to vintage days and we're here riding it. And we're standing there, and I'm like
That's
getting
awesome.
teared up, like we had something to do with this. This is amazing. Like, and it's of course because of the event. So all that, that's our story. How many stories are like that throughout that whole event with all the people that there's thousands of stories like that from that event. And I think that's why it's so important that this event has to keep happening and keep expanding, because there's so many relationships that revolve around this event. Like if this event didn't happen, I'd be lost in some ways, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if I could say anything to you guys at the AMA, it's thank you, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
100%.
Yeah, very much
And
appreciated.
especially for realizing what you guys created and not taking that away, because that's so important to that event. And just keeping it the way it is such an amazing thing.
Absolutely.
It's like it's the last bastion of real motorcycling events. In all
I would
honesty.
say it's like the last bastion of freedom. I
Yeah.
mean, like really, like it's like
Yeah.
it's like yes,
Yeah.
This is just have a good time.
Yeah, so during the event, when people are swearing at you and for no reason and stuff, just know that the rest of us are cheering you guys on. We got your back, and we really appreciate all the work that you guys do. So thank
Well,
you.
you guys,
Yes.
every year we see video of this chant at about 2 a.m. with some naked guy on fire, and everybody's going AMA. AMA. So
We had
there might
nothing
be
to do
some
with
alcohol
that.
involved there, but
We had nothing to do with that.
I've definitely never seen that in person.
oh, that happened. That happened about 3 years ago. The guy was on fire.
Again,
Oh, yeah.
we had
He had a hat
nothing
on
to
that
do.
was on fire.
The
We
court
had
order,
nothing to do
the
with
court
that.
order does not allow me to talk about that incident anymore. So I'm sorry.
So
Anybody
I
who's
got
there
a
knows what
question
I'm
for
talking
both
about.
Mitch and Mackenzie. What's your favorite motorcycle podcast?
This one.
All right.
Good answer.
Right here. Right here.
There's a long pause there, wasn't there?
Well, kumbaya.
I don't.
I thought of one quick
I have
question.
to admit,
Go ahead.
I'm not a big consumer of podcasts. I'm just not. It's just I'm busy and I've got all kinds of other stuff happening. But this has been fun, and this is a very, very casual. This is like sitting around in the garage, with some beer and having some bullshit sessions. I really like that. So
It
that's
actually
just good.
comes free with your AMM membership too.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm going to start telling people that.
you're always more than welcome to appear in person. We always have guest stars, and
Well, I'm going to come visit you guys in July.
I hope to God you do.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hope you do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
In fact,
You'll never be the same.
There's usually a tiki bar set up at some point that's being manned by Tom or somebody else in the background. We always have breakfast sandwiches and everything else, so you're more than welcome to come and enjoy.
Grilled
it.
cheese.
I will come over. Yeah.
Wasn't that the Moto guys?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the one-
tiki
yeah,
bar?
It was part
yeah.
of our whole.
Oh,
Yeah.
Do you guys have any? I mean, personally, do you have any fun motorcycle things that you'll be doing, or you're looking forward to this summer or anything?
Yeah, line items.
Oh, you
I'm
mean
ex-
that don't happen at VMD? Separate
Yeah,
from that?
yeah,
Right.
like just
Yeah.
anything.
Just that you're doing.
Are you going to the Alps? Are you touring the
yeah.
Alps? Are you doing
Yeah.
anything fun like?
Yeah, I'm going to Austria.
Oh,
and
for
Vienna.
real?
We're doing-
For real? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
We do it
jealous.
every year.
He
If
was
you
just
got the
pulled-
magazine, you would know this.
You would know.
He was just pulling that out of his ass, and you're like, "Oh yeah, we're going."
Every year we do an Edelweiss tour and we write about it in the magazine. So,
Oh, the
man.
Edelweiss tour. That sounds gorgeous.
so this year we're going to go to Vienna, which is on the far eastern edge of the Alps, and we're going to ride for 2 weeks, zigzaggy up and down all through the whole Alpine area. We're going to end up in Nice, France, which is right in the Mediterranean.
Wow.
That's going to take 2 weeks.
Nice.
And so that's something.
That sounds
I highly
divine.
recommend that you get a really good videographer
Yes.
that has a YouTube channel that can come and document all this with like about. 10
I know
minutes.
a guy. I know a
Gotta
guy.
find one.
I hope
Gotta
there
find
will
one.
be some good video and photo from that ride. That sounds gorgeous.
And his equipment manager.
I've gone on probably 12 or 15 of those things over the years. I just love riding in the Alps, and
Oh, I bet.
I've done it so many times. I've been through the same places, and it never ever gets old. I mean, the culture, the history, the food, the roads, it's just insane. I mean, there's a lot of great places to ride here too. I mean, I live in Utah. Southeastern Utah is just like the moon, man. It's just a freak show down there.
Mitch,
It's just so beautiful. So
Can we ask you to come back as Mitch, the motorcyclist and journalist, for another session someday, and we can just talk about all this crazy stuff that you've done?
I feel like
Oh, yeah.
I mean Mitch could do a whole I mean he's done so much in the motorcycle.
I have
mean,
so many like I have enjoyed this. This was great, and this is what we came here for today. But just talking to you and from your bio and stuff, I have 2,914 questions ready to go. So,
I'm happy to come back whenever you guys want me.
oh, that's gonna be great.
sweet.
Exciting.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I don't want to take up your guys' whole night. I know the times are different and everything like that. So, man, I think this was a wonderful podcast so far. We got a little more to talk about, but thank you so much for coming, guys. We learned a lot. I hope you guys had a good time.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Mitch, I'll send you out a personal invitation too when you come to Ohio and you want a tour of North Ridgeville. You will not recognize it anymore. We'll put you on a
No,
Honda.
yeah.
We'll put you on a Honda Monkey or a Hunter Cub, and we'll go putting
Yeah.
around.
It's funny. I've actually gone back to Ridgeville quite a bit over the last decade. Every time I come in, I try to get up there just at least for an hour or two and drive by. And yeah, it has changed. I belong to the North Ridgeville Historical Society, so
Oh, cool.
which is cool because they're always posting stuff from the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s and stuff like that. But things change. It was a really, really quiet cow town. The weird thing is it's halfway between Elyria and Lorain and Cleveland. So, you knew it was gonna grow and blow up at some points, and it has. So
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, again, thank you guys so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks.
We really learned a lot today, and it's really neat to put faces behind an event that we love so much. Like we have our faces that we see, like Wendy and all the other people, but the people that are doing the hard work, the stuff that people don't usually get to hear about or see, it was really fun to find out and meet you guys. So thank you so much.
Hey, yeah, me. Hey, yeah, me. Hey, yeah, me.
Now set
right,
somebody
guys.
on fire.
We will see you guys when we're at the show this year. Thank you
Take
so
care.
much,
See you
guys.
soon.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank
Thank you, Mackenzie.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Mitch.
Thanks a lot. I
right.
appreciate it. Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Yep.
All right. Thank you. All right. That was freaking awesome, man.
Yeah, that was
lovely.
good. Yeah, I really
Wow.
enjoyed that.
Talk about an accomplished guy. I mean, he's not just the director of the AMA. I mean, you talk about the the history he's got with American motorcycling.
100%. Like, talk about the right guy for the job.
Yeah.
Like, like they didn't hire just some corporate guy that could run the thing. Like that guy's credentials.
Who else would you get?
I got tingly when he said he was involved with the 900RR. Oh my God, dude! I got questions, dude. That's why we got to have him back. I'm gonna have an hour of 900RR.
Well,
questions.
hopefully, I mean, he'll swing by during vintage days, and we'll maybe get to have a brewski or something with him. I mean, it seems like that'll,
Yeah, and everybody she was awesome as well. Her knowledge and everything, and so the people behind the event are awesome, and that's awesome to know. I mean, it would have to be. The event
it's got to be crazy trying to organize, wrangle all these cats and everything, and organize this event. I mean, there's probably a lot of details. There's probably just a lot of monotonous amount of, she's talking about contracts. Well, every vendor, everybody has to have a contract, and she probably has to put all that together. So it's probably a lot of work for them.
And there's also, they hit on this a little bit, but they didn't discuss it, who had the most juice between the people that run the facility, the track itself, and the people that run the event, which is the AMA.
Yeah.
So they have to play ball well together, but I don't think that their interests probably align 100% all of the time.
I mean,
there's probably a power play there.
Yeah, I mean, the AMA is putting on the event, and obviously Mid-Ohio wants to have the event to make the money that they make, but then it's their property, so they're concerned about insurance and people getting hurt, so they're going to manage the ground, boots on the ground kind of thing. So, I mean, yeah, it is what it is. Yeah.
Sure, Sergeant Bilko.
Again, don't blame the AMA because the shitter's full. That's the Mid-Ohio Sports Car
That's
course.
a facility problem.
That's a facility thing. If it's talking about services or camping or getting into the campground, that's by and large all on the sports car course.
I think so.
It was, I don't know. I just can't imagine, knowing that the chaos that takes place, keeping it in control, and still, I'm just amazed.
Yeah, I mean, mostly what they're doing, though, is organizing all the racing and the events. I mean, that's the crux of what they really have to do. They're not really selling tickets to Mid-Ohio. That's Mid-Ohio, what I mean?
And that's the interesting thing, too, is that kind of puts the separation of your anger. Like, when you're mad at somebody at the thing, you're probably just mad at a person from Mid-Ohio, not the AMA.
Yeah.
It's usually the people from the...
AMA is not running security. AMA is not providing toilets. AMA is organizing all the events and making the event happen.
Right.
But the facility is all...
Yeah, I guess you have to think about it. It's like if you'd have a party at a party hall. It's like you're responsible for the guest. You ordered the stuff, but the food coming out, the venue, all that is the responsibility of the
other thing, too, is, you can't really expect the AMA to tell Mid-Ohio that they have to do this or they have to do that. They have to put in more toilets or something like that for the one weekend that they're having their event. You don't go tell, Blossom that, whenever a certain band is going to be there, they need more capacity. Like, no, we have this place. This is the place we have. You've chosen this place to have your event here. This is what you're going to get.
Right.
I think Mid-Ohio, given the events that they have, should have a Western flushable toilet shower facility by this time. On the east end of the property where they have the showers and the toilets and flushing water and everything, there's a package plant over there. They have their own sewer plant. Something similar. If you're going to have the amount of camping on the west side of the property, you really just can't throw people in a dirt field. And they have. I mean, you can. They obviously have for years. But but just giving people a porta potty is kind of cruel.
It could use some auxiliary facility, that's for sure.
The one year they actually had a trailer. They had a trailer that had toilets and showers in it, and it was portable. They brought it in, but it quickly was overrun. The tank overfilled. It was shut down after 2 days, like a first, second, or third day.
The problem is what other events come close to matching the size of this event? None. AMA Superbike weekend just came back last year, so that's growing, but they're maybe 30,000.
Don Slicker and those guys, they do the car events. I've seen pictures of he's the only one. There's nobody camping in those. Most people just drive in for those things. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They don't really need it any other day, and for maybe more than 1 or 2 weekends out of the year.
That's my point. So
I mean, you could make a certain investment in maybe just putting a giant vault, so that when you bring in a portable toilet system or something like that,
it works better.
Or
you could just have it sucked out. I don't
think
know.
about that. What they could do is build a really nice fucking shower area, right? And then if you want to use that one, you have to pay $25 a day or something. You know what I mean? Because like the racers, if you're racing there or something, you want to get a nice, clean. I'd pay $25 to go and have like an actual non-gross shower.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's the thing. We actually build our own shower trailer. We charge people $25 a shower.
For $25.
Donation. You know, we could rent one and control who uses it.
Put it on the side of the blow up pub.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten by for 20 years with either, just going over to the other shower and finding a time at whatever that you can get in there, or just do a bird bath and get by for 4 days without a good shower.
It happens.
It happens.
So, looking at the show notes, we have some other topics.
Good Lord, what other topics might we have?
Well, we had a quick one, which was kind of funny, but I read a tiny little article. How many people in this room still do the wave when you ride past another motorcycle?
I do.
I do quite frequently. I mean, generally.
Half and half.
Occasionally.
What's your opinion of it when somebody drives by and they don't wave? Do you feel like fuck that guy? Or
No, I
you
don't.
care?
I never initiate the wave, but I'll always return the wave.
Okay, so you're not an initiator. What about you?
I usually am ready for a wave, and sometimes I'm not like I usually just throw a couple fingers, or I'll like move my hand a little off the bar. It also depends on where you're riding. If you are going through the metro parks, you better be ready to wave.
Yeah.
The metro parks are definitely wave friendly. Everybody truddly daddling through the metro parks is waving at everybody.
What do you think? What's the rule? So I forget what was with me. Maybe it was Smith. I think me and you were riding out, and we were going out. We were going out west, but Bike Week was going east. Do you remember that? And there's like 150 bikes that passed us. So at what point do you have to keep it up or down the whole time for all 150?
That's the problem. If you're at a bike event and you have to wave at everybody, it just gets old.
Yeah.
And if I do wave too, I never wave below the bar. It's always above the bar.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Okay, so tell me about that. Is that a certain sort of etiquette? Because a lot of times I give the low.
Well, listen
The
to
low,
this.
it's the low deuce. That's what the Harley boys like to
In
call
my
it.
research, I found out
Am I
that
right,
there's
Bob?
3 general ways of doing it.
Oh.
Most of the Harley guys do the 2 down like this because it's easier and their bars are lower, but that means keep 2 on the road.
Okay.
Most of the sport bike kids that came up through had no idea what the fuck it meant and just gave the peace sign. So now for the sport bike guys, it comes up like this.
Okay.
And then like
The third option
is just you just don't want to put any effort into it, so you just throw it down off the bar like that. It's like a mid kind of bar thing.
I'm a lot of times a mid kind of guy.
But so then
But now we have a 4th option over here, Sean.
What am I the 4th option?
Well, I don't know. I thought you were going to say.
Oh, well, I have not had anybody give me a peace sign on a sport. I have not had anybody give me a peace sign on a sport bike.
No,
I have
always
not
give
seen
them
that.
low Vulcan.
Yeah.
Did they ever give you the Cuban hello?
No, but here's the interesting thing though.
What do you mean, the West Virginia
So
salute?
this started though after the war,
Okay.
when bikes were so dangerous that guys were literally being like, "Hey, nice to see you're alive."
Horseshit.
And that turned
Okay.
into like, hey, keep the 2 rubbers down. That's what the consensus of it is online.
Okay, it's the same thing with the people drive Volkswagen Beetles. They always got to wave at each other.
Or
People
the-
drive Jeeps,
the
they got to
Jeeps,
wave at each
yeah.
other.
Corvettes.
It's the Honda
Corvettes.
Element,
Or-
the Honda Element rule, where you have
But
to
there-
park next to the fucking Honda Element.
Or
Yeah,
at
I
least
get
if you
it.
have a rare something of the same kind and you see
the
another.
thing is they said that at the time there weren't that many motorcycles on the road, and they were considered super dangerous. So when the 2 people saw each other, it was kind of like, hey, we're kind of the same cloth or whatever. Hey, keep it safe or whatever. They said that and the consensus says that as the things changed and more bikes became available, people lost the real meaning of it, and now it's just more of a greeting, not so much of like a, hey, you're a dangerous motherfucker too. Woo!
I can certainly tell you who does not return the waves the most to me when I do them. And that would be Harley riders. Like,
True.
Yeah.
That would be it. Sport bike guys, all the time.
Right.
Fellow scooterists, yes. But helmetless Harley guys, I might as well have not existed.
Yeah,
Maybe not
sometimes
so
they
much.
wave back. It's like
Every now and again.
It's funny when they you wave and they start to wave and then they want to pull it back.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
Once you wave, wave.
Have had that. They're like,
I was going to say,
it's-
most of the Harley guys
that's
wave
not-
at me are going like this, and then they fucking go like this, and
Yeah,
then they go like that.
yeah.
Like-
Oh my!
It tends to be, but they do sometimes. But
What about that Harley guy to your left?
Well, that's Harley Bob, though. He doesn't count.
Harley Bob.
I don't wave.
Good for you, Bob.
You're
might
not a
spill it-
waver,
He might
huh?
spill his beer.
Not a waver. It's like, F you.
You've got a waiver for waving.
Moto Hop
You're
waves. He's part of our group. He's all right. See,
Hey,
we like him.
everybody go tune in Moto Hop Ta-da! Just sent put up a new episode with the.
They're up to 2 a year now.
Easy for me to say.
Congratulations.
Wow. Okay.
You're doing great, Matt and Missy. Don't worry about it.
Don't kick him in the
great.
I
guts.
was teasing. God, man. Can't take a
Jeez.
joke these days.
I'm excited to listen to it. I'm gonna log
I am
in.
too. I love listening to podcasts. It's one of my hobbies on my hour and 10-minute ride to work every day.
What's your favorite motorcycle podcast?
I love the motorcycles and misfits. I listen to Moto. I listen to Moto Hop when they have a chance. I listen to the what is it? The one from Revzilla.
High side, low side.
High side, low
Yeah,
side.
I've listened to that.
What else? What other ones? What do you listen to, Pete?
I like Adventure Rider Radio.
Okay.
What else? That's my go-to. I don't spend a lot of time in the car, and when I'm at home, I don't sit around and listen to the radio either. So I don't. Yeah, I'm not like tuned into a lot of podcasts.
Yeah,
But if I'm working on a project though, where I want some background noise, I'll put on Adventure Radio.
Playing while I'm cleaning the
Adventure
house.
Rider Radio.
What do you listen to, Sean?
Essentially the same ones that you listed.
Okay. All right.
Speaking
So
of
far.
projects, has anybody actually got any of their bikes running? I know we were trying. We went out. I was helping you. I mean, we got the TRX, your quad runner running.
Yep.
What else have I done for you?
No. I have so much shit taken apart right now waiting for parts. And parts have been just fucking a nightmare. I've got the wrong parts. I've got parts I'm waiting for. I've got parts that are shipped, but they're not showing up.
You're doing the big wheel on your Buscadero.
Yes.
So that was the $200, $220 set of.
14,
You're going
17.
from a 10 to 14 to. Wait, what's the rear?
No, 12.
12, 14 to a 14, 17.
17.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I have them on there right now, kind of fit, and they look great. They're a good sized wheel. They don't come with brake rotors though, and that's what fucked me all up.
Yeah, you broke all the bolts. All the bolts are stripped out.
They're not coming out. I think Pete nailed it. I think it's a steel bolt and an aluminum hub, and it just welded itself in there. So I would suggest if you do buy a new set of wheel sets, get the brake rotors and just put new ones on it. Don't try to take old ones off of a pit bike. But I got that going on. I got all new hoses, all new things and everything for the Triumph. So that's all going on, plus a new headstock bearings, all that kind of fun shit. And then I got some jets. I got a jet kit for the Ninja. I got a jet kit for the TRX, or no, for the Buddy.
I have two of them. I somehow ordered two of them. I don't know why I did that, but I have two sets of them. But that's good to have all those jets.
Yep. And then I got a whole bunch more headsets for this review I have coming up that we're going to be doing together. So I'm going to be giving away 2 pairs of headsets besides the ones that we're doing the review of. And these things are pretty cool, man. They're like the next generation. They're not a cheap headset. They're like
Mesh.
a $300. Yeah, they have mesh. And then the Pro version actually has... They didn't send us the Pro. We have the underneath Pro version. But the Pro version then locks in and uses your phone's hotspot. And it's just like the other one that we saw in AIM, where like you could have a friend in LA riding with you on your headset or whatever, all through the internet.
That's nuts. I didn't realize that.
So that's pretty crazy. So we got that coming up. So there's a whole bunch of cool stuff coming up.
So perhaps we should mention that last weekend, you mentioned it already, that we went to the Skidmark Garage auction.
Yep.
And that was pretty crazy. I really haven't done a whole lot of auctions. I don't know if you guys have.
No.
But it was, everything you would kind of expect. Now, as far as what was there and available, I mean, like, if you wanted a lot of crappy gas tanks or tire, like, you have to also remember that most of what was there was leftovers from what Flat Out Garage already took out.
Right. If you go to my YouTube channel, I did a little review video up there, and it'll kind of show you what was in there and some of the drama of these guys bidding on a Boxo bike.
Well, I mean,
that's Moto Stories and More, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it was pretty interesting. I really
like and subscribe.
I thought it was fun, doing the whole who give me 4, who give me 5 out of 5, after give me 4, after give me 5. I mean, like that guy was.
But
good.
it was pretty
Real deal
interesting.
auctioneer.
But it was really. This was the first time I saw an auction where like they tested how much you wanted shit, because they'd be like, all right, this line of bikes, who wants, like, you get to pick one. And
so you got your winning bid was okay. So like with the gas tanks, here's a shelf of gas tanks. There's 20 gas tanks. We're bidding on who gets the first pick.
Yeah.
So you bid $35. You get any gas tank you want on there for $35 each.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you say, okay, well, I want this one and that one at $35 each. okay, next round of it. So they did that over and over, and it was very effective, I think.
It was, and then
but you had to understand, like, do you want to bid, or is the person bidding against you bidding wanting to get the same thing that you want to get?
Yeah,
because that happened when I got the little motor. I started bidding. I wanted this little 2.5 horsepower. It's a Honda G100 little pull, agricultural little motor or whatever, but it's so cute. And I was
said that.
He did.
And it was
totes adorbs.
And I started bidding, and another guy was bidding against me, and it went up and it went up, and then he went over what I wanted to bid. Well, here it turns out he didn't want that one. He grabbed another motor.
I know. And then he kind of jacked the price up. So that was the thing. If everybody would just shut the fuck up and been like, no, I don't want anything, $10.
Well,
because
but
what
I
came
did
after
want-
that
Well,
was
everybody wanted something, but everybody maybe wanted something different, I think is what John was saying.
Well, no,
But
but that's the
I
point.
lucked out in that, I bid against him thinking he wasn't sure whether he wanted the motor I wanted. Turns out he didn't. And then when it came back around, I bid $10. I bid it up to $10, and I got it.
So essentially, you were spending his money.
I bid him up, and he didn't even go after what I was after.
Right.
But
you
at
were
one
bidding
point,
for the pick.
But at the end of it all, they'd be like, all right, everyone left for $10, and then you could just take whatever you wanted for $10. That was kind of the score.
And then it was and then some of the stuff just turned into. I mean, it was almost there was some stuff you probably could have had for free or $1.
But there were some guys that seemed really excited about the bikes they purchased, and I was like, that $50 bike's going to cost you $3,000 to even see it run ever. Like it was,
I mean, the bikes, the best bikes that you could have gotten there, I feel, were the SL 350s. There were 2 of them.
Yeah.
And I actually bid on that. I'm like, I'll go up to 300. I'll give $1 a cc because the one had a title and it had the original aluminum fenders, which I don't know if everybody noticed that. I touched that. I'm like, those
silver
are those,
one, right?
Those are those are not painted silver. Those are the original polished aluminum fenders. So those would almost be worth $350. And it actually, I thought it was going to go higher. I was bidding. I checked out at 350, and then it only went up to 375. And then the guy who bid 375 took both of the bikes.
Yep.
Because there was another yellow one. So I was like,
he was into it for $750.
The thing that I didn't like is the one that had a title. I kind of looked at the title because it was stuffed under the handlebars, and it was like a really weird old green. I don't even know if it was an Ohio title. I'm like, that title could. I'm not gonna. I didn't look at it. I didn't take it out and look at it, but I'm like, that could be questionable.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I was just happy. I didn't really buy shit.
we tried to get Phil to lift, but that went over. There was some. Johnny's Vintage Cycle guy was there.
Oh, he was going ape shit.
And he was just going ape shit because.
Did he have a box truck or something? He bought like a truck's worth of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and he was sucking. But if you really look at what he was buying up and everything, he sells a lot. I mean, he's been in business for 42 years, he said, and so they have a whole eBay store and everything like that. But
his son did not seem happy. His son was like, "What are you doing, Dad?"
He was buying all kinds of bullshit. But if you get a chance to buy a stack of Cometic head gaskets this thick for Kawasaki's and Hondas and stuff, that, and you're getting them for $15 for the whole stack. Well, those are $20-$30 easy on eBay or anything like that. It's just a matter of you'll have to spend the time to list them and sell them. And you can do that for the next 2 years if you want. If you can buy a whole box of brand new handlebars of various sizes and everything for $15, well, if you sell one, you've paid for them. If you sell two,
The eventual Cleveland Moto auction is going to be epic.
No.
Yeah, I mean, Phil said he was very interested in how this whole process worked because he will hopefully be moving warehouses, and there's a lot of stuff that he doesn't want to take to the new warehouse. I was going to tell him or offer to him, I mean, like, well, let's look who the player was. Eastside Bob and Johnny's Vintage Cycle were the two people who bought up the most bullshit at that auction. I would just call those two guys and be like, hey, I got a warehouse I got to clean up. You want to come make me some offers, or we want to talk about what you would give me to cherry pick this and take anything you want out of here or something like that.
That's not a bad idea because those guys.
Because between those two guys, they bought a lot of stuff.
They were selling the stuff at pennies on the dollar, and the auctioneer's taking a cut of that. So
the auctioneer was getting a cut on top of it. So he was getting a 16%. You had a 16% premium. So if you got something for $10, it was going to cost you $11.60. So there was a seller's premium.
But you know what? I give them credit. They did a good job, man. Like they kept shit moving. The guy was pretty clear and concise.
I mean, I was surprised. I was like, how the fuck are they going to do this? Because things were not set up in like lots or anything. I mean, there were totes, and then those totes were on pallets, and then, but then there's just so much random shit around the shop.
Dude, when I walked in, the auction had just started. Remember, like you had just started that one thing, and I looked in that room, and I'm like, we're going to be here till 10 o'clock tonight. And it was done at like 4:30. 3:30? 3:30.
It was, I mean, like it started at 1 and it was done in a couple hours. It was rapidly cleared everything out of that. And, at one point Brian had said, they were auctioning off the lowbrow custom poster up on the wall. And he's like, hey, I'm like, who cares, Brian?
Yeah.
If it sells for $1 and somebody takes it out of here, that's what you want. You just want all this shit to go.
That was like Harley Bob kept bidding on mopeds. And I was like, what are you going to do with that thing? And he was like, I don't know. I just wanted to get in on it.
Hang it in the tree.
Yeah. Wanted to feel included.
I ended up getting that little cute 2.2 horsepower G100 Honda motor. Look it up. It's cute.
I got that.
Then I got a gas tank, which I have already thrown in the garbage for $5. It was shot. I mean, I was okay with restoring it, but it actually had holes in the back that had been JB welded. And I'm like, I'm not starting here on this. Yeah. I'm not putting that kind of effort into something that, got a nice cafe racer seat that I'm going to try to mount on my SSR 125 to make my butt much more comfortable and not kill my tailbone on, which is basically a non-existent seat.
I got some carbs. I think they're 26.
Those carbs look really good.
They're brand new.
Yeah.
They've never been used. So there's two. They're pit bike carbs. Perfect.
Yeah.
I got 2 of those.
Those were like $1 a piece, weren't they?
$1 a piece. I got a $10 motor too, but after getting it home, I'm looking at it. I think the shaft has been shaftalized.
Ooh.
So we'll see. If I can get it to run, I'll do something with it, but we'll see. And then I got a carbon fiber exhaust pipe for $1.
Yeah.
But that was for a pit bike or whatever. And I think that was it.
Yeah. Maybe.
Oh, no. And I got my first ever first aid kit.
Yeah.
I've never had a first aid kit. And he was like,
Really?
there's no way it's filled. And I opened it. It was completely filled.
So I had to
for the garage.
I had to buy Cinch's stuff. Our total ticket was only $60.
Right.
So,
Well, I bought you dinner. So
And I was more than happy. I think I
and
made
you
out.
got sex, so shut up.
I can get that for free anytime, bud.
Oh, listen to you, you braggart.
Yeah. But I'm sure that there was still bullshit left over. If you went down on Monday, you could have had free stuff. I saw for sure there was a nice parts washer there that I don't think ever made it into the auction. It was kind of hiding in the corner. But yeah, I hope all goes well for Brian. I know that probably wasn't an easy thing. He was really cool, though. He was there. He had a keg of beer on tap. I think it was a Kolsch, maybe Market Garden Kolsch or something like that.
That was the Moto Go Kolsch from Noble Beast.
Noble Beast. Okay. I actually ended up having a few of those. They started tasting good, and then I was like, whoa, I better lay off. I'm going to get stupid.
And then
with
you
my
bought a
bidding.
$5 gas tank.
Yeah.
With holes in it.
I'm going to get stupid.
I filled it
my
with
bidding.
beer, but all the beer leaked out.
But I was also exhausted at that point because I ended up going into work at like 3 o'clock in the morning so I can get done with my work so I could leave early so I could go to that. So, yeah.
Did anyone go to the Moto Go or the Skid Mark party on Friday night?
I did not. And then they also had a funeral Saturday night, and that's what all those booze bottles were there. I'm like, are you going to auction off the booze bottles? He's like, no, those were from the funeral the night before.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they had some fun.
And then one of the also things that I got was a Skid Mark Garage T-shirt.
Yeah.
So I really like the idea that I was able to, Brian hooked me up for $5 for with a T-shirt.
Yeah, I got one too.
Size medium?
Mine was double extra large.
I only saw medium.
He had boxes back behind the table. He dug one out for me.
They got rid of quite a few of them out at the Piston Power Show.
Okay.
So let me ask you guys something. If you could take any motorcycle that you have right now and add a radar system.
Throw it off a bridge?
Nope, but add a radar system that'll give you early detection and tell you what cars are around you, front and behind you for $219. Would that interest you?
No.
And tell us why, Pete.
Yeah, I just don't need it.
You don't need it? You already have that extra sensory perception built in already after years of riding?
Well, doesn't some
I
of
tend
that...
to ride like in solitude a lot, and like if I was going to spend time on the highway, maybe I would be interested in something like that. But I'm out on like smaller roads. And...
But think about this for a minute, man.
If it's a road, if you need that, you don't want to be there.
Correct.
Okay.
That sums it up very well.
But it's so crazy that For $219, you can add millimeter wave radar system to your bike now. SR1 is an automotive grade 77 gigahertz millimeter wave radar built for motorcycles. With 4 active warning modes and a detection range up to 70 meters, it keeps a constant watch on the space behind you, to the side of you, and in front of you through fog, rain, darkness, so you can ride with your eyes forward and with your confidence intact.
So what are you getting? Are you getting like a display, or are you just getting lights? Like, you have your collision avoidance little lights that go on your car and the thing.
Well, can you pull it up?
John has to type.
Well, now the computer's got to get turned on and stuff.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
This is what happens.
Oh, boy.
I mean, is that going to really make you avoid an accident, or is it just going to tell you right before you're going to die?
Well, do you get a beep? Do you get a light? I mean, what
No,
do you,
it has
what do you
a
get?
screen.
Okay,
and it
so it
shows
has a
you-
display.
and it shows you where they are on the screen. This is how crazy it is. So it looks like a GPS unit that can probably be something else. And it has lines on it. And it literally shows you. So, like, for me, I'm thinking, like, if I was going home at night from the podcast, it's 11:30, and I'm out near me, and the road's black as fuck. You can't see anything. And it
Right.
shows you there's a dot in the road. That could be a deer or something that I've almost hit, like, 10 times going
Right.
home. So, like, I could see it being used for that. Or if you're at a stoplight and you're sitting there and you're just kind of chilling and
What's
you look
this
down
stupid
and you
thing
see
called?
a dot heading toward you,
Yeah.
you might want to get the
Pay
fuck out of the
attention
way.
and see how close it is.
Yeah, but you've
What's it
got
called?
this big AWACS system on the top of your bike. That's
Right in
It's
the back of
not.
the
They're
helmet.
these tiny
8
little
feet
things.
across. No.
Or you could just stay alert and keep your head on a swivel.
I mean, I do, but I'm just saying, like, think about it, man.
Ayo.
If it was something that you wanted for $219, you
Wire.
could put it on a 72
Chiggy.
CB750.
Your
like,
birthday's coming
isn't-
up, Cinch.
Sure.
Isn't that
It
something
is.
else to distract you, though?
It could be. It could
Well,
be.
Especially riding home, late at night from the podcast.
But I'm saying, like, I already have a screen, and the screen's
I
already
understood that
sitting
one.
there. I know what you're saying too, but I mean, I don't know, man.
So
Like-
are you seeing what I'm seeing here? Is this the AEO-6 Max LTE? I mean,
Oh. Giving you like
this company Shiggy has a lot of products.
I say
yeah.
it's
So
even
this is
CarPlay
the
head units there too.
SR1. It's the SR1.
SR1 radar system.
Yes,
Okay, here
that's
we go.
it. There you go.
I brought it up.
So
I
look
got
at
it
that.
up.
So that's what it is. You see those tiny little things? That's the sensors that go on your bike.
So, do you have to purchase their head unit thing that goes along with?
I don't know if it comes with it or not.
It
That was
looks
the
like that's a
thing.
plug-in. It might be a plug-in unit for their head unit that you buy separately,
Oh, maybe.
like an add-in item for their thing. Because I see a CarPlay
Oh,
display.
You're right. So it
Like
might
it looks
be
like
an add-on.
like a big head unit kind of thing you bolt on there, and if you want that to be a component, you plug it in.
Okay, but that's still pretty interesting though. For $200, you could put radar on your motorcycle.
Yeah, well, I mean, like if you want that kind of display on there to begin with, then
So those are only
why
like
not?
those are only like the sensors, but they have to report to something. Or
Yes.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
so
So
it
they're
is
either going
probably-
to send it to your headgear.
All
or
right, so the
Yeah.
headset's like $200 too. So you're in it for $400. You get CarPlay and you get radar.
yeah. Well, either
Again, I don't know if I'd want it either, but I just thought it was interesting that they have radar of like I didn't know that you could just add radar to anything.
It is interesting, and it could save somebody's life, and if it could save somebody's life, it's very well would be.
Well, I
worth-
was just
Right.
thinking, like, so if you're a younger kid, right, and a lot of the younger kids love the technology, especially if your parents owned a Tesla, right, where the car's like, oh, there is a Dodge next to you or something. Right?
Yeah.
So, like, maybe that could help people be a little more like, oh, well, this bike is safe. It can see
Sure.
around me. It can let
Maybe
me
there's a
know.
Tesla next to you.
now. Yeah. To
Oh no!
I just want a warning
It
system
can't see you anywhere.
that only warns me if there's a Tesla near me.
I would say maybe not necessarily.
As a motorcyclist, that's not a bad idea.
I'm just
actually.
saying.
Right.
Maybe not necessarily Tesla, but
The
like,
radar in me recognizes the camera in you.
Right. As far as that kind of technology, it's more and more common in everyday cars, not just Tesla.
Well, that's probably why the price
Right.
is so low, right? Because it's become
Yeah, it's an ubiquitous technology that, to your point, people have kind of grown up with and become accustomed to in the car world.
Right.
So a younger generation of riders might see a little more value in this on two wheels as well.
At the end of the day, though, I mean, when you're on a motorcycle, I mean, you don't make a lane change without turning your head or anything
Right.
like that. You absolutely have to. That's not going to replace situational awareness. So, but I'm not shooting it down. I'm not saying if you've got the scratch and you want to trick your bike out a little extra, it's probably worth doing.
It just hit me like that $200 price tag just kind of shocked me.
It's not awful. I mean, no,
Yeah.
$219 is not.
Also curious to see how much their main display.
I mean, you wipe your ass on $220.
They're pretty inexpensive.
Yeah,
that
they're pretty
Chucky
inexpensive.
stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I will agree that it's a lot of technology for a small price tag, but I'm not going to be a buyer.
Right.
Well, so yeah, I don't think it's for everybody. You know, I don't think it's for everybody, but
I would say that if you were going to put a CarPlay kind of thing on your bike, then it's a no-brainer to just add this to it because that's what they have.
Right.
What other stupid thing you want to talk about?
I know what you should talk about.
What do you got?
What's the status with the Irish pub?
Dun, 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 dun.
Well, that's a good question. So I had sent myself things, but I forgot. We are at
Roll the propo.
We're at that's what I'm looking for. There we go. Okay. Yeah, now that the AMA is gone.
I don't know why we didn't hit them up for some money. I mean,
well, we might talk to him. I think Mitch might be down to throw in a few bucks if he could come and have a beer at night.
off the record.
Well, and I spoke to Shanky's whip too, so I've got to ask
Tell us
you
more,
guys.
Chris.
Well, the guy Dylan says, "Well, what are you guys going to do? Can you send me some information on the Irish pub?" And
You
we
say,
got,
what do you want us to do? Because we'll do just about anything.
well, so the question I got for you guys is, how much do we want to ask them for it?
I don't
And
know because
I-
$4,350.
Well, I sent this out in a text and nobody responded to me, but I got to get back to the guy.
We apologize for that,
well,
Chris.
I mean, that's a question that I don't know how we answer. To be honest with you, like
How much is a pub cost?
It's about $5,000.
And how much we got so far?
$650.
Okay, so I'm willing to ask him for $4,000 and see what he says. He may say go fuck yourself, but
Yeah.
I mean, let's start somewhere. The worst he can say is no.
Yeah, of course. But I didn't want to answer a question that I couldn't answer at that point. That's why I didn't respond. But
if
yeah.
they are willing, and I make this promise, if they are willing to kick us the $4,000 or $5,000 to buy this thing, we will put Shanky's whip on every inch of it if they want, and we will give away as much Shanky's whip as they want to give to us.
Yeah,
I'll wear Shanky's whip underwear, clothing, whatever. Tutu.
And I made a mistake. I told him there are going to be 25,000 people there, so apparently there's
70,000.
70,000. So I got to correct that with him. And he's already thrown in, more, little shorty bottles and stuff like that. How much do you want and stuff like that?
We need 70,000 of them.
Yeah. But I gotta start the negotiations.
Well, that's only one per person, Pete. Come on.
Well, someone can have mine, so someone can have two.
Okay.
But I want to see if we can pull this off.
Oh, I would. That's my goal in life right now is to pull this off. Yeah, and that's the thing is that we're
100%.
going for this one pub, right? But if for some reason we can't reach it for that, there's definitely other pubs we can get. So it's going to happen. Like there's
we could always get the nightclub, the Black Cube nightclub.
Well,
or
no,
something.
there's enough pubs available that you can go from like, yeah, that's a pub, to what we really
that
want.
pub was extreme.
Oh, that thing's a fucking legit. Like we could rent it out. Like that's a $10,000 blow up thing for
how many
half
camping
price.
spots does it take up?
It takes a few.
I feel like there'll be tents set up inside the tent. I mean, like it's probably.
Well,
like,
you gotta can you run the generator all night long and keep that thing inflated?
I mean, if you've got enough propane,
if you got gasoline.
John's seen my
I thought
generator.
they had a 10 p.m.
If I get a big enough
generator
tank,
Cinch, can you give me some details on that? Pub that I can get over to them so they know what they're buying?
I'll send you a couple different ones saying like this is the one we're trying to get, this is the one we can get, and this is what whatever.
This is what we'll settle.
I'd just say shoot for the moon, and then
see what goes from there.
We can always back
well, no,
down,
the only problem though is what if they say yes and then that one's not available? You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about that shit now. Just give me the information so I can get over to him.
Get the money and run, buddy.
I hear you. I hear you.
I'm not finding an inflatable emu costume, but I am finding an inflatable ostrich costume, which kind of sort of will cover it.
Shit,
but we'll put you in that.
Totally.
So
That's not a bad idea.
I do have one more topic if you're interested.
I'm totally down. What's their time?
We're at 2 hours.
Okay. That's up to you.
How would you feel if your motorcycle analyzed your riding, analyzed the type of riding, analyzed its internals, and then made recommendations about when to change your oil compared to just keeping track of it?
I would hate it. And I'll tell you why. Because the people who designed that and put that on my motorcycle I feel would be too tempting for them to be like, well, they're never going to tell you that you can go beyond your normal service interval. They're always going to tell you, though, that you need to go in sooner than your normal service interval.
Well,
Right.
the people who are debuting this, their service intervals are insane anyways. So,
So even worse.
yeah, so Ducati debuts predictive maintenance for the Desmo 450 motocross bike.
Mm-hmm.
So Ducati is introducing a new feature for the Desmo 450 motocross that monitors engine stress in real time to estimate when service will be required. The predictive management system available to the Desmo 450 MX owners through a free dealer-installed engine control unit update calculates engine wear based on a number of operating conditions, including the type of terrain ridden, the individual rider's style, and also the heat cycles on the bike to determine a service interval instead of simply relying on overall time and or mileage.
Welcome to your nanny state bike. And I'll let you talk, Phil. Pete.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought, but yeah, go ahead.
Welcome to your nanny state bike. And Phil talked about this with the Zeros, that, okay, now they know everything about your riding and what you were doing on that bike. Now, if you go and file a warranty claim for something, they can go back and say, you voided your warranty when you took
but
your
listen
bike
to
over
this.
red line. You know what I mean?
But
It's
here's
just-
some cool stuff. Continuously updating maintenance schedules will be viewable on the Desmo 450 MX's accompanying Ducati X Link app. This app will show separate schedules for piston replacement, valve clearance checks, and any internals that need to be done.
If there has to be a fucking piston replacement, there's a goddamn problem.
Dirt bike. They
It's
only
their,
last
it's their,
so
ra-
long.
it's their dirt
Yeah.
bike racing thing.
And again, I'm not interested in any dirt bike that has any foreseeable piston.
But if it's on this is going to
I
come to
get
other
it.
bikes,
I
right?
get it.
I'm going to say it's the same thing
Well,
that's
it's-
on every car,
I was
every
gonna-
modern car.
yes.
Right.
Well, how about our BMWs? My BMW is screaming at me right now because I can't find my 911 thing to turn off the oil thing that I did 5 minutes ago. So I mean, they're already kind of doing it, right? But that's just time based and or mileage based.
Correct. You can
So-
set that to trip
Right.
by
So,
a date or by a mileage.
Sean, I think you just
But
hold
what
down
I'm
the
saying is-
mode button on your bike until it goes off.
but what I'm saying is this is kind of cooler because we already have this going on. But now if it's actually analyzing the bike and saying, you know what, you were riding to work every day doing 55, I can tell there was no stress on the bike. Yeah, you're good for another 300 miles. Or another-
I know it will never do that. It will never tell you that your service
But what
interval.
would be the? I don't know.
Or
Good
what they
job,
will do,
thumbs up.
or what they'll do is they'll be like, well, we can advertise that our service interval is only every 10,000 miles, but in reality, it's going to have this system loaded on it that's going to always tell you that it's not. Well, no, sorry, you're not going to make the 10,000 miles because you didn't baby the fucking bike, right?
Will it share any of this information with the insurance company also?
No, they would. Oh, they'd never do that.
The devil.
It'll
you
tell
say.
my wife.
But I mean, realistically, what bikes aren't going to be connected? What bikes coming soon aren't going to have this technology? It's not like
Good thing I won't be buying any new bikes. Probably, maybe.
Hey,
ever.
didn't you post a thing earlier
Are we
today
talking
about if
about-
you were a dumbass, you would buy the Indian or the Harley for $14,000?
Yeah.
This is that situation.
You might be able to get a bike right now before it's connected and actually have a cool bike.
I get that, but eventually, all bikes are going to have this shit.
Sure. Yeah.
The good thing is there's 100 years
Don't-
of bikes that don't have
well,
it.
thank you for ruining my day.
Dude, this podcast just turned into a get off my lawn podcast.
Oh, no.
new technology.
You kids.
Get outta here. What are you doing?
Hey, I did just unload a V100S Mondello with all the trimmings this morning, like brand spanking new.
That's
And it doesn't have the nanny state yet.
All I'm saying is all that crap is rarely designed to help you, or if it's helping you in some way, it's helping them more.
I don't doubt that. I'm not saying you're wrong on that aspect at all.
Attica.
But I mean, like, think about it though. For a track bike, for my track bike, right? If it had that technology, and I like maybe one day I went there and I wasn't as hard on it because I was trying to learn something or do something, so I wouldn't have to change the oil. But like, it would tell me like, hey, you just fucking went 8 sessions at 12,000 RPMs. Maybe it's time to throw the oil back in here, dude.
But the thing of it is, too, it's all AI. So it's not actually taking a sample of your oil and saying your oil's good or bad. It's just sort of figuring, it's saying, well, based on the analytics that you've given me.
Well, there's
No,
problem.
but don't you think that the oil companies know when oil burns?
I mean,
and
that
certain
doesn't
temperatures?
even need to be connected. I mean, you could just have that a logarithm running on the ECU on the bike. It wouldn't have to be connected to anything.
Look, we just saved you money.
Oh, you run your bike was at so many RPMs for so many minutes for so many hours. So I mean, like that's not even like it doesn't need to be connected.
It's a parameter set that could turn on a light.
Yeah, they're like, well, you've overran you need to
I know, but it's better than to me. It seems like it's better than just going every 3,000 miles change your oil. Like if you're not riding like an asshole, maybe you can change every 5,000. I don't.
If you're riding like an asshole, then you know you should probably change your oil at 15,100 miles.
Yeah, you know that, and I know that. But people that maybe just bought motorcycles,
I don't care about them. If they're too stupid to know that if you rape the shit out of your bike, you might want to change the oil, then their bike should blow up.
All right. Short answer: if you're a dumbass and you take a hacksaw and cut off the muffler on your bike, you should change your oil every 1,500 miles.
You're not going to win
There
me
you
over.
go.
Okay.
That's just the way it is.
I didn't come up with this.
And your tires every
All I'm doing is
800
telling you
miles.
about it,
But you
man.
came up with the topic.
Turn my oil
because
into
it's
wine.
an interesting news item.
I'm going to fight you right now.
That's what he always says before he.
I got my money on you, buddy.
I wouldn't.
No way.
Stick and move. Stick and move.
Yeah, no, I mean, interesting, but I'm having a hard time seeing it.
Here's where
stupid.
Here's where it protects Ducati. If
Thank you for telling us about it.
If Ducati puts it in there, you need to change your oil at 6,000 miles, and then the guy takes that bike out and just flogs it like a rented pony for 1,500 miles, it probably needs to be changed. And if it blows up, he's like, "Well, I wasn't going to change it till I got 6,000, like the book said." This way, it's telling you when it actually needs to
I
be
have
changed.
been flogged. Please help.
Hey, Sleepy.
say.
Sleepy,
Yes.
you want the real answer here?
Yeah.
So Toyota has it's the BRZ is the GT88 now.
GT86. Yeah.
Right. So what happens is they advertise this amazing car with a shitty Subaru motor in it, and you can take it to your track day. It'll be fucking amazing. And what happens is the nanny state computer on board recognizes that you're at a fucking track day. So when you blow that shit ass Subaru motor, they void your warranty.
They're like, yeah, no.
And their service interval. Okay, in your pickup truck, there's a service interval, right? Mm-hmm. Does that service interval have any caveats on how you're supposed to drive it during that service interval? No. That service interval should be based on the maximum, using it in the maximum performance mode. If you take your truck and you hook a trailer to it and you drive it up and down through the mountains or whatever, it should still need its oil changed at whatever time it needs it. If you drive it easier, then you're just changing your oil and you didn't need it. But
in my manual right now, it says change the transfer case fluid at 30,000 miles. If you tow daily, do it at 15.
Okay.
But I mean, that's the transfer case oil. The regular motor oil shouldn't, you know what I mean? Your pistons shouldn't wear out, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
If you skip
it's
one
different with a
day, you
Ducati.
can go 30.
The thing is, I would never buy a Ducati because of all that bullshit. Because the service interval, because of that, it's just not a level of performance I need.
If you can't change
and
the
it's
belts every
absolutely
year, why would
what
you
I
not
need
buy
is
it?
reliability. And so that's why it eludes me why I would need that or ever want that.
Okay.
It eludes
Whereas
me.
the Ducati,
You can spend your money on radar detectors.
right?
I'd rather, that might be more useful.
Whereas maybe the modern Ducati buyer sees value in that kind of thing.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was a topic.
I think it was an interesting topic.
Okay, I'll
if
just
nothing
sit
else, because we got to argue back and forth about
know, I
it.
did
And I will
like that.
continue this for the next hour and a half if you would like.
Okay, I think we need to call a truce here and have Smith tell us a joke.
You got a fucking joke, Smith?
I don't got shit.
Oh, what the fuck? You had one job.
Well,
Come on,
wait,
you funny
hold on.
man.
But
But
who
hey,
knows?
kudos on getting here on time, because he was pissing his pants that you were going to be late.
Well, I wasn't going to be late, but
You made it on time. Good boy.
That was excellent. So the people that maybe just didn't hear the first part of the beginning part, so Phil is not here. Why? Where is he?
Mexico.
What is he doing in Mexico?
And I
all
can't
heard
remember
that
the name of it. But it's basically the Mexican version of the Amerivespa.
Okay.
So it's Mexico's, I think, largest scooter rally, he said.
Right.
Okay.
So he's probably going to have a really good time, I imagine. I don't know if anybody went with him.
Merritt.
Merritt went with
did
him.
go with him.
Yep.
So I imagine they're going to get some borrowed bikes from some friends there, and they're going to have a good time. Was it
Yeah.
Guadalajara?
Guadalajara,
Yeah.
I think, is where it
Yeah.
starts.
So that would be super fucking cool to be riding scooters through Guadalajara, Mexico.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially considering we have the second coming of winter in Cleveland this week.
Yeah, there's no riding this weekend. Holy
How is this
shit.
coming up on my computer? You getting this?
What?
The one of the pictures I almost want to
Phil's checking
say.
in.
I almost want to say was of one of the rides. It
Phil's
actually,
checked in.
Phil just checked in from Guadalajara.
it accidentally came up on the computer there for a second on his. Oh, but it was his screensaver.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I can't, as soon as I moved the mouse, it went away, but it was a picture from one of his previous Mexican endeavors.
Got a Vespa sidecar rig, he says.
Sweet.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
That sounds pretty amazing.
So
Oh,
that's
good.
going to be
Oh,
interesting.
95 degrees. Ugh.
It's 40 here.
I melt like ice cream in 95 degrees. We've seen
And
I'm
we're
here
going to get
for
some
it.
really good stories next week
take
when he
40.
comes back.
I think I'll take 42. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I did notice that he was flying with his helmet, which is always fun to see. So he does a carry-on. Him and Merritt both had their helmets on just on the plane.
Seriously? Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
So she had her full face with the thing and everything. It was a good picture.
That's hilarious. Oh. Well, let's hope that it's not like a really humid heat. Maybe it's like Mexican, Southwest type of drier heat, and it's not awful. You know what I mean?
Probably. No?
Let's,
No?
wear your suntan lotion. You know how you burn.
He's in the chat telling everybody he's avoiding all the potholes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder. So he's actually riding. He's mobile as we speak. Because I thought he just had flown out. But okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the ground.
Sweet.
With a sidecar rig. Well, we're going to find out all about that next week. So does anybody have anything else?
I don't think I have anything. Anybody else have anything else?
I have
Smith
nothing.
has no jokes.
Play us out there, Johnny.
All right, Johnny,
Well,
play us
hold on,
out.
hold
Wait,
on,
whoa,
hold
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa, wait a sec.
Shoot your
Hit
load
the
too
brakes.
fast.
Hold on. I wanted to say thanks once again to our guests
Oh,
from
absolutely.
the AMA.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you
Just
for
wanted
joining.
to make sure, shout out, make sure we say Mackenzie, thank you so much for coming, and Mitch, you guys are both amazing, entertaining, and can't wait to have both of you back at some point. And then Mitch, we want to hear all about your past life because that was I'm blown away.
I think that was a pretty good podcast. I hope we made
Yeah.
Unky feel proud.
I think so. That's
That's
And,
right.
Play us out, Johnny.
Bum, bum, bum. Oh, wait. You guys got me messed up. And on that note, ride fast and take chances.
There you go.
Bum, 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 bum.
Hit the red button.